It's showtime. There it is. Maybe. I hate this chair. Hello. All right. Good catch. This was going to fall, and I caught it. Reflexes of a cat. We already know that. Oh, drop it, drop that. Just setting some stuff up. Good evening. Your ears must have been burning, son of a. I put a section in here, the show, just for you. Just for you. Good evening, everyone. As you can see, I am vacant 2 slots. I don't think CC's going to be coming in tonight. He had some stuff he had to do, so he might not make it. And MC is doing hockey stuff, so he might pop in a little bit later. But still got a good show. Good to see everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, yo. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Nice shot, by the way. Did you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that. We're not. I also might lose internet power, so don't think I didn't pay my internet bill, because I did. But there's really bad thunderstorms here too. It would be cool if it caught that. I have to check the replay. Anyway, should we start? Should we start like people are here? Was that thunder? Yes. Yes, it was. I should turn on all the lab equipment and see if I can get that monster to wake up. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you. I did hear that. Yeah, that's going to make for a good clip. Anyway, MC might join me a little bit later, so all the questions that I have for them, I'll just talk to you guys about. But good show tonight. I did trim it down because I didn't know if the guys were going to be here, and then also there wasn't really a lot of news. It's like post San Diego. I mean, a lot of people are, obviously talking about the same stuff, favorites, winners, losers, all that stuff. So I put some stuff in here that I thought maybe you guys would like. So let's start the show. Ready? Here we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Paige. Welcome to episode 272 of the Hangout, where we give you positive insight into the world of collecting in a very chilled and relaxed atmosphere. I say we because I don't have we. It's solo for night now. But we'll be chatting about a couple of things. I guess top cons for tonight, what I had was... They're all in order, too. I'm very impressed with myself. Good job, Paige. So top cons for tonight. I had... I might wait until MC comes in for this one because it was kind of a question that I wanted to talk to them about. But I have a segment called Creators That Inspire. I figured instead of doing, the, doom scrolling that we all do and looking and, stepping in, shit all the time, I figured I would go and specifically look out for people, places, and things that inspired me. And so there was 2 creators that I wanted to highlight. So we'll do that. I have SDCC After Party. That was going to be a segment for them to catch up on anything that they wanted to talk about, because I pretty much steamrolled the conversation last episode and we just talked about Mezco. So wanted to give them a chance to talk about some of the stuff that they want to talk about. If not, all of this stuff is open up to you guys as well. Figure of the year. We are 8 months in. I know everybody likes to crown figure of the year in January, but it gets a little bit more realistic now. So I figured we weren't going to talk about our figures of the year, but we were going to kind of define what we consider figures of the year. We'll talk about that later. What else did I have? Some Mezco news, of course. And then they did put up Dr. Fate today for pre-order. That's not really anything new. It's just kind of like a reissue. But I wanted to talk about reissues, but in a different way than some of the conversations we talked about before. So that's what I got. What's popping? So, anybody got anything that they want to add? Yeah, that was it. That was it. I can't do this first segment, but I was gonna do no foreplay, so I don't have to bore you guys with that. We could just jump into topics. Hello, everybody. Hello, Paul. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Oh yeah, I saw this and I threw it in there really quick. It's gonna be a quiet week. Hasbro is closed for summer break. Must be nice. We'll catch you later on this month with updates on the Snowcat. Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to ship. And then Thunder Machine, glad to hear about that, and all the other fall announcements. So yeah, they just keep hitting you. They had a really, I don't know if you guys saw um, the San Diego Comic Con GI Joe display that they had. It was amazing. It was this huge ass diorama. I'm pretty sure it was that one and not the Marvel Legends. Either way, it was either Marvel Legends or GI Joe, and this thing took up like three bookcase panels. And then I was talking to the guy, or one of the guys that built the diorama, and he was telling me it was like a repurposed Doctor Doom diorama. And down at the bottom, it had like a disco floor. I think I might have said this in the last episode, but it was huge, man. Very impressive. Because I walked up to him and I was like, "Hey, who did the diorama?" He's like, "I was one of the people." I go, "Geez," I said, "How long did it take you to make that?" He's like, "Oh, that thing's been like seen for like 11, 12 years," he said. "Link me, I'll join in with you, if not solo." I would, man. I think MC might be coming. He told me he was coming, but let's see if he does. If we get halfway through, I'll shoot you a link, man. Because it'd be cool to have you on. Paul. What's up, Paul? Hi. But yeah, they're gonna be closed for the summer, I guess. Creators that inspire. So, like I said, I've been really trying to rewire how I get on the internet and how I interact with people. And so I've been looking for just artists that are like either sharing their art or sharing their passion on what they do, you know? And you can usually tell who's passionate about what they do. And so a little bit of a backstory with this. Uh, I knew this Letterman was going to be really popular. I didn't think it would be this popular. And the reason why is because, you know, when you get it before anybody, you're kind of like, you're in this, I don't know, you're kind of like in your own little echo chamber and you're like, wow, this is really great. And so I really tried not to do that. I tried not to do that with any of the figures so it doesn't sound like, biased or shilly, but I thought it was going to be really good. I didn't know that so many people would take this figure outside of what it's intended for. And so to kind of give a little bit of backstory with this, Sully was one of the people that I saw that kind of used this figure outside the box. And most of the time it's like graffiti painting and DJs and stuff like that. Sully, we all have like this, little, it's not group chat, but we kind of connect with each other. And we've been talking about jazz a lot, jazz music and stuff like that. And so he started doing these jazz shots. And I know you guys have seen this. And if you're not familiar, like I said, you can go to Sully's Toys. He's one of the first people I saw do it in this style, like black and white jazz kind of stuff, and he has some amazing shots. I know, like I said, some of you guys have seen some of his stuff before, but if you haven't, make sure you check it out. Marvel Legends had a huge dio. Joe had that small Arctic scene. Okay, thank you, Robo. Thank you. Glad they started using dials again. Those were always cool at SDC. Yeah, thank you for the correction, man. It was Marvel Legends. That's a fire shot. Yeah, he does. Sully kills a lot of his shots. One of my favorites. Um, yeah, so Sully, and these are really, really great tribute shots too. If you on Jazz Archives and stuff like that, you'll see some of these shots. Like some of these are by like Gordon Parks and other influential jazz photographers, people around there, and these are really good shots. Um, what I think is cool is I was looking around Instagram, and of course, Son of a Flower. This is another one. He has kind of created his own lane with Letterman too, And I thought it was really cool because he first started doing music shots and stuff like that, and then he started doing these just like these quiet, thoughtful shots. And I thought this was really cool. So also, if you get a chance, check out SonOvaFlower. Got some great stuff. It's really cool because I remember when he first started, and to see where he is now, it's really cool to see somebody just develop not only like their photography skills but their own style as well. And so he's been doing that too. And then uh he's locked into this like Afro samurai concept, and I really like it a lot. Hold on, let me check. I'll have something with me here. Solo, yeah. We'll see. Maybe halfway through the show, and then Lou said he'd probably jump on it. Yeah. Dang killer shots. Yeah, these are really good shots. Let me try to make these bigger. Hopefully. Nope. Can't do it. Yeah. But he has his Afro Samurai kind of thing. This is out of order, but we started experimenting with it. Um, he has a bunch of other shots with Tangerine too. Those were really good too. But this is his latest shot. And it was funny you mentioned Tangerine because one of the captions is like he's trying to get good vibes so where we get another Tangerine. I thought this was really cool. But it's man, I love seeing people use figures outside of the intended character, through creativity. Because I think a lot of times we might get locked into some of these things like, oh, Gomez is just a roach, and people don't know if you just take the head off, maybe you swap the net peg, you got a suited body, you can do a whole bunch of stuff, and it just adds to it. At least that's the excuse I make. So if I'm trying not to spend money, I say, I can just justify it this way. Yeah, love the Letterman. Yeah, man. Shout out to SonOvaFlower and Sal. I mean, so this was a section I wanted to do with the guys, but I can share with you guys too if you guys had anything that you guys wanted to talk about. But the SDCC after party, we hit on Mezco a lot during the last episode, and we didn't really cover a lot of other things. I know there was a bunch of stuff people were really hype about. Jada, Mondo. I'm trying to think of what else. I heard some NECA. I didn't really hear a lot. I'm trying to think of what else. But if you guys know of anything and you guys want to chat about it for just a couple of minutes, we can do that too. But again, this was just a section to kind of have them catch up with something that they wanted to. I can't really think of too much. I'll be honest with you. I didn't really walk around a lot at San Diego. I was like at the booth, and I think I went over to Miller's, Frank Miller's. I wouldn't call it like a booth. It was like a panel booth. He was doing signings over there. And I think I went to maybe two other places. Hasbro, I went over there. That was cool. That was about it. I had a lot of people reach out to me and tell me that they didn't think that the convention was good this year. So I was really surprised. All right. I don't see anybody talking about San Diego, so we'll move on. Figure of the year. Figure of the year. So it is August. We are almost done with the year. Almost done. And so we're getting closer to the end of the year, and that's when figure of the year talks really start kicking in. I know that usually like figure of the year, everybody wants to kind of like plug their own lines and their own characters that they like the most. Awesome, man. Son and Sully are always pushing a creative box, and I'm thankful for them. I'm always inspiring myself and others. Yeah, they are, man. That's why I want to make sure they highlight them guys, because it's really good to see that kind of stuff on your feed, man. I've been trimming down my feed a lot. Just to kind of focus on creatives and information, like reliable information, just stuff like that, man. It just makes your experience a lot better. But anyway, so yeah, I want to have this discussion about figure of the year because and I don't have them, so you guys can jump in at any time. But I wanted to get everybody's uh I guess like your preferences, or what are the qualities that you look for when you're going for your figure of the year? Something like that. Uh, things like, is it how much time you put on the table? Is it a character? Is it a company? Is it articulation? Is it paint apps? Is it all of these things all together? Um, see, thank you, and Mike. Oh, yeah. But that's what I wanted to talk to you about. That this conversation is a little bit easier when there's somebody to like talk to you about it. But I might have Lou jump in because I don't know if Lou. Let me send you. I think I can do it here. Oh, here it is. Invite. Invite guest. Copy. Give me a second. I'm gonna get Lou in here. Not that I can't carry a conversation, but all the topics that I chose for tonight, they're interactive ones, and so it's like unless the chat's going, it's kind of hard to have some of these conversations. Give me just a second. Notification messages. Oh, I gotta zoom in. But yeah, while I'm doing this, you guys chime in and tell me what exactly you guys, Loco. Let me check and see if he's in here. I don't see. Let's see here. Loco Lu. There you are. Lou, I'm gonna send you the link. What is this? Paste. There you go. So jump in when you want. We do have some. At this very moment, Letterman is at the top of my figure list. He's so New York inspired. He resembles an old classmate of mine. Yeah. So happy to see this one return. Oh, the show? Oh, yeah. Oh, it was good to see you, Detour, man. It was good to see you at San Diego, man. Always like connecting with you, man, and talking with you. Really humble guy. Make sure you check out his stuff. He's got great builds, very innovative, and he's a good guy too. Playability and character for me, yeah. A figure that drives the cool factor up, sparking ideas. That's just one of the draws your attention out of the collection every time. Likewise, bro. Yeah, yeah. These are all great things. I I think for me, one of them is how much time I actually spend messing around with the figure during the year. It's a little bit harder for those ones that kind of come at the end of the year because you don't really get a good guess of it. But I like if I can have a figure on the table and it's just sitting there, and while I get other figures, if I kind of like bounce back to it, I always love doing that. That's a good gauge for me. I do think I don't know if people have caught on yet, but I see content creators and I see collectors. Everybody will make their figure of the year list or their top 10 and stuff like that. I really hope this year. I hope for it every year, but I hope that people understand that whatever list somebody comes out, that's their list. You know what I mean? I've seen so many times when somebody will say, because we're all sharing, we're all collectors, and we're trying to like tell what figures we got, and it's so subjective anyway. Because let's say you bought a figure that somebody else can't afford or somebody isn't interested in it. Everybody, I think, is sometimes so definitive about their figure list. They're like, no, that figure's not good. This Batman figure is good. Lou, good to see you. Loco Lou.
What's poppin', people?
How you doing, brother? Articulation, paint apps, accessories. Good to see you, man. Thank you for jumping in. Oh, can you? Are you? I don't think you're muted. Oh, he said he'll be right back. All right, cool. I could hear you initially. Um, but his articulation paints, accessories, anything you I can pick up and just play around with. Exactly. But it's also interchangeable. If I can easily swap the clothes, it's a huge bonus. Plus, I can't remember the last time I'm putting Letterman in storage case. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. But I hope, and then this year, people will kind of like look at some of these things and say, you know, uh, that figure who that figure that who you're seeing somebody else talk about and they're expressing their joy about it. I hope people are a little bit more open and accepting to it, man. Because I've seen people getting arguments and comments about the sad stuff, and I'm like, there's no need for all that. We all have like different preferences, and not all of us collect the same figures. And if we did, if we all did collect the same figures, would probably be more limited than they are now. So it's also good to have like a variety. Lou will tell you.
I will 100% agree with that. I was listening in the backstage area. Uh, Listen, collecting is supposed to bring people together and appreciate other figures and also introduce figures to people who are not into the IP that may want to be in the IP because they found something that they can identify with. So, like for me, my big thing into Transformers wasn't anybody but Soundwave. Soundwave is my guy.
Yeah.
All right. For Turtles, obviously is Mikey, but also all four because I could like pick stages in my life where I was one of those characteristics, you know what I mean, for a
Right.
period of time. Now I'm like Master Splinter. I got all of them wrapped into one. I still can't change myself from a rat to a human, but I'm here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the concept is basically just it's about bonding, you know what I mean? This is also about purchasing items, you know what I mean? If I created something, I want to make some toys, I'll make some money off of it, make a franchise, I will want that too. But the
Yeah.
fact that it brings children and adults together, especially since it's pop culture, and we're the ones, spending our top dollar for these IPs, it should,
Yeah.
be a melting pot regardless, like
Yeah.
everybody who collects GI Joe, for instance. You collect a lot of GI Joe stuff. I wish, because those like helicopters, tanks, and all that other stuff. I wish
Yeah.
I had space for it, bro. I wish. I got my turtle van. I got my
Yeah.
my Ecto One, and I got the Rumbler. I still haven't taken the Rumbler out the box.
Oh wow. The desert one or the black
The
one?
the black one, because I
Yeah.
like the Black Ops. I always had a thing for the Black Ops kind of SWAT team aspect,
Mm-hmm.
more so than the Desert Storm, because I wasn't into that type of camo. I always liked it, the one that
Yeah.
was in the city, because I always saw that.
Yeah.
But
Do you do a top 10 at the end of the year?
I don't normally do a top 10 on my channel, but
Uh-huh.
when I go to other people's channels, I'll have a list of top 10. And my top 10 will consist of a culmination of stuff. So one would be pricing,
Mm-hmm.
two will be value within the pricing, right? Um, two, fun factor. Oh, the
Mm-hmm.
three will be fun factor. The fun factor has to be, um, how can I play this? Like a pocket toy. The toy that you just can't seem to put down. You always
Right.
have to have it. It's your fidget spinner for the year, right?
Yeah.
And then there's um your rarity value. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that way, but for you as a person who lives in this, this country, there's many spots that you can't find stuff.
Yeah.
Mezco, if you don't get that pre-order window open, chances are you're getting a secondary market. But there's such a thing called the community that you can go to. As long as you guys are good with each other, you guys could,
Yeah.
keep it going. But it goes with that too, so like for me, I don't try to go overboard, but if it's like a specific let's say a specific line, like for instance, 90% of the times it's Hot Toys.
Mm-hmm.
90% of the time it's Hot Toys. The other percentage is I want to say 112 scale figures. That would be a mix between Mafex, Mezco, and whatever other high end IP.
Mm-hmm.
Anything lower than that, as far as the bar, it would be anything that could go to a Ross or Walmart, Target, or whatever to grab, right? And availability plays a factor, depending on how rare it is to see the item too.
Right.
Because my targets are dry. We barely have anything when it comes to
Yeah.
NECA stuff, and when we do, it's all Funko Pop. It's never,
Yeah. So
it,
yours is kind of a mix. It's like you're also keeping with the collector side of it because of the value part, but then
yeah,
also and your price point. The second thing you said was like value of. Do you mean in terms of like you have the offering, how many accessories you get, how well
bingo,
they're done, that kind of
bingo.
stuff,
Value
quality of the
per
figure?
dollar. Yeah, value per
Okay.
dollar, not
Okay.
value as in how rare the figure is, because
Right.
that comes to availability. That's the other topic. That
Hmm.
goes down. That's a separate line in itself,
Yeah.
because something could have a trillion accessories and still be a peg warmer or still be readily available for somebody to grab, right?
Right. Yeah.
But the way things are going now, because technology's taken over, the the trend of action figures is dying down slowly, is getting to the point where
Yeah.
everything's digital. Now they're doing digital toys. What
Yeah.
is a digital toy?
I don't know.
Like
I don't know.
McFarlane started doing that. I'm like, okay, I have a room where I have these digital toys that I can't pose, take pictures with, or do anything
Hmm.
with to interact with other IPs just within its
Hmm.
own IP.
Yeah.
But it don't make sense. If I want to buy the figure and take it home, I can't, because it's not
Yeah.
physically made. That makes no sense.
Yeah. It's so somebody else owns it. Like it's you know what it reminds me of, kind of like, which is a hot topic now, like PlayStation. Yeah,
Yes.
or Voodoo, and have you have your whole big catalog, but it's all digital, but you can't take it out yourself. It really reminds me of, I don't know if you've played any of these games, but like NBA games or Madden games where you
Madden.
have your cards or you got your trophies,
Oh.
but they're all in there and they're all digital, but you
Mhm.
can't, it's not anything that you can touch. It's
Yeah.
not anything you can
It,
say,
it,
you can.
it's like the platinum when you platinum a game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on your profile.
Hmm.
But here's the thing: if Sony gets hacked like they have before,
Hmm.
and someone wanted to wipe out their PlayStation section, the gaming section, right,
Yeah.
and mess up everybody's careers as they have it in NBA or live or whatnot, or even your Spider-Man. Like, dude, Spider-Man, I platinum all the Spider-Man games, but
Yeah.
all the hard work that went into finding it, the time that I put into it, it's not physical, it's digital. But the only way to see it physically is to get to that digital market, and if somebody hacks it and destroys that, I only have my word at that point.
Yeah, I like having. I've gotten to a point now where I like having stuff. It was cool because it was portable, like movies and everything.
Yeah.
But even now, I'm starting to like shy away from it because, like you said, if a company takes it away, there's no way you're gonna get back. Even if they get the system back up, it's like, okay, well, I had these. Well, no, you didn't. Or we lost a big one's we lost the license for it. I
Mm-hmm.
had bought Transformers, the like season whatever they were, the seasons,
Yeah.
and I'm locked out of one. I think it's Voodoo, but I
Uh-huh.
have it in my catalog, but I can't watch it because for whatever reason they may have lost that license and they can't
Mhm.
show it right now.
Yep.
But
It's
I already bought it.
that's
Something
similar
like that. Yeah.
to that's almost the equivalence to what I want to compare to, which is something that I know of, is the
Yeah.
TMNT Mirage collections, right? There's certain specific magazines and issues that you cannot collect or get because of creative indifferences within
Yeah.
the collections. So I have a
Hmm.
compendium, but it's missing issues that's tied into a specific artist
Right.
that's not going to allow that to be inside the collection for a
Yeah.
reissue. They have to get the permission. So it falls into that weird category with the
Yeah.
digital stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, give me my stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me
I
why.
don't want anything anymore digital. But so here's the thing. So you had a figure that you probably crowned last year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. Have you played with that figure this year?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a true,
It's
yeah.
a
Okay, yeah,
true um grail. Like, for me, it's a grail. It's my
yeah.
1/6 scale Guyver figure
Okay.
from Max Factory. Guyver is like the anime that brought me into anime. Like, I
Hmm.
saw Dragon Ball, but I didn't know that there was a difference within cartoons, because I used to watch Mighty Mouse and Hanna Barbera,
Hmm.
and I just saw different styles of animations. I didn't know the difference. I wasn't knowledgeable,
Yeah.
right? But when I got into anime, it was through Guyver, and Guyver is like a violent version of Power Rangers. So,
But it's
that
still on you, but you still come back to it though.
oh, dude, I always come back to it. It's in front of me, in front of my TV every day. I go to it, I check it out, I check out the batteries, make sure the batteries are still going because it lights up. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I actively, have them in hand constantly. And the thing is this, is that 90% of the time I put my figures down just so I could pick up the other figure that I have still in the box.
Yeah, see, that's good. That's what I was thinking about because I know the figures that I liked from last year and the year before prior. I still picked those figures up, and that's how I knew that it was like, okay, that's a good decision, or that the figure actually had some impact on me. It meant something to me.
Mhm.
But I was just wondering because I know I was talking to a friend of mine. He's like, he said, "Man, you know what? I haven't even picked up that figure." And since like last year when he was raving about it, I go, "Wow!" I was like, "What makes you think about like what do you think about that?" He's like, "There's just so much stuff. Your stuff gets kind of pushed aside and everything." And so,
It goes back to that old saying, out of sight, out of mind. That you do
yeah.
that with anything. Out of sight, out of mind. If you don't see it, you can't really interact with it. Like I haven't opened up my Mezco Godzilla yet to
Oh,
actually
the
enjoy the
the
Mezco
shorty one.
vinyl, the
Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah,
first one.
yeah.
So
Oh, you mean the big one or the
no,
seamless
not
one that they
jumbo,
just came
not
out with?
jumbo, not the
The
jumbo
seamless
one,
one,
the
the
seamless
six
one, the
inch.
six
Yeah,
inch one, the black and white one. So
yeah, that's cool, man.
I haven't gotten a chance to like dip my hands in there and hook it up. Um, because one, space. Two, that box is beautifully huge and I don't want to damage it.
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah,
but um, but it's there. I
yeah.
know it's there. But other things are coming in. Like I got my Mondo Ghostbusters 4 pack from San Diego Comic Con.
Uh
I
huh.
got what else did I get? I got the 5K female turtles, Violet and Crimson. I got um Toys X23, and she's not out the box yet. She's still in the wrapper.
Yeah, so you have a lot of unboxing to do,
Oh,
especially
dude.
like if you're trying to determine what's for this year, right?
This year
No, I mean
I
like
do it
if you.
half year. I do half
Oh,
years.
oh,
So
okay.
so like the figures that came out in the
Mm-hmm.
past 6 months, I go through all of it. I have it in hand, and I see which one is the one that speaks to me most. Whether it's the nostalgia, fun factor, all the other stuff, right? And I just put it in front of me, and whatever I'm feeling at the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just leave it on the shelf and just sit it there. If I haven't touched it and took photos of it
Yeah,
or had ideas for photos of it, I'm not thinking about it.
yeah.
It's like, okay, so maybe you should go to number 10. What about you? Let's see you. Okay, like always, the favorites are the ones that you can't put down, but you don't want to flood the what you call it, your social medias with it. You know what I mean? Because everyone else is doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too. Like if I have a figure and I see a lot of people shooting it, I will purposely backtrack on stuff. But it's good because it's a good balance. It allows you to kind of enjoy some of the stuff that you maybe haven't opened or showed off, like
Exactly.
messed around with. Like for me, that was one of the reasons why I really like doing those macro Mondays was because
Oh, I
I
love those
have
macros.
thank you, man. But I have these older figures,
Mm-hmm.
and some people are still new, and so they may not have even seen it, or they've seen them through like other people's eyes. And you know how there's a stigma with Mezco. It's like, oh, why do they cost so much? They're not worth the money. And I mean, for me personally, I do feel like they are. And then I was like, well, what can I do to kind of showcase that? I was like, the figures are known for like their details and the soft goods, but I don't. And
Yes.
it's not a knock against anybody. I don't think that people really showcase. You know, it's different when you have it in your hand, right? And
Bingo.
so when you're shooting, it's farther back, and people don't get all those details. So I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'll show people the details that these figures have. It may not change their mind, but at least it's not soft or. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said earlier, with the value for whatever you get for the
Value for
figure,
what it comes in the
I
figure.
feel like I get value from it. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I started doing it. But it also gets me to get in there and open up figures, not only to check them to make sure they're okay,
Yep.
but then also you people get to see it. I get to handle them again. And I don't forget, like you said, I don't forget about those figures because they're constantly in rotation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As long as you have a like for me, I got a mix between Hot Toys, third parties, and Mezcos. And Mezco has always been my number one love for figures because
Yeah.
I had already had jumped ship with Marvel Legends and anything that's completely in that $20-$30 range for the soft good stuff because I was there when Mezco did the Dark Knight Returns and
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
Judge Dredd, which I still own those guys, you
Hmm.
know. But it's like, okay, this is miniature Hot Toys. I could buy a bunch of these with the price of one Hot Toy figure and have me a nice little setup. I'm still attached to these Hot Toys,
Yeah.
but if I could go back and put all my money back into my bank, I would just stick to just the Mezcos and collect straight through
Yeah.
completely. Even with stuff, IPs that I'm not really interested in, just to have them in the catalog and be like, you know what? I didn't give it a fair chance. Maybe it's an awesome figure and I just didn't give it a chance.
Yeah. It is. It's almost like a movie. Like I'll
Yeah.
go back and I'll watch a movie or something like that, or there's lines that I don't think that I would be interested in, and I'll try it because one good thing about figures, you can always at least get at minimum half your money back. You know what I mean? Like most of the time, like if it depends on, like you said, your sideshow or higher end stuff, or maybe like imports, most of the time you can get like 75 to 100% of your money back.
Yep.
I mean, at the minimum. So it's like almost like no, it's not like a risk. If you don't like it, you just sell it, you know?
You're basically losing the tax money that you paid on it for the most
Right.
part.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that that's basically it. But I say this when it comes to flipping and all the other stuff, hardcore flipping, you know, is
Yeah.
not for everybody. It's a hustle, right? Some people hustle harder than others.
Yeah.
Everyone else, they're collectors. They just want what they want when they want it. But this is why the community is important because you don't know who you can do trades with, who you can flip flop with. Like I'll give you an example. I didn't go to Conz SDCC, right? I wasn't
Mhm.
able to. But my boy Emerald was able to go, and he said, "Yeah, I picked up one at the con. I have one coming from the shop at from Mezco.com. Do you still want one, dude? Absolutely, boom, nailed one.
Yep.
Um,
That's
look,
cool, man. That is
yeah,
cool.
and here's another example. Pablo, he does
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
photography.
Hmm.
Me and
Yeah.
him did a swap. He gave me, I swapped him Letterman because he missed
Hmm.
out on Letterman. I bought
Yeah.
two. And I said, dude, if something comes up and I miss it, we'll exchange.
Yeah.
He on FOMO, he got the was it the special ops Gomez with the silver head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't get any of Gomez with that animated style head, but I
Yeah.
wanted that one to go with my Death Adder and the Rumbler
Yeah.
because they
And
were
so you guys
exactly
just did it again.
just swap
Yeah.
real quick, just quick switcheroo, and you know what? He's happy and he's loving it. I'm happy. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Mine had a QC issue, but all figures. I collect a lot, dude. I still have the mountain. I
Yeah.
still have the mountain. I collect a lot. There's no such thing as perfect, even when you put your money in it. Think of it like your car. You put money to a car, your car is good.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of months in up, you need to change something in the car. Why? Something went wrong. You went over a pothole and it messed up your whole day.
Yeah.
You just gotta go with the punches. And me, I find ways to fix stuff. You know what I mean? Like me
Yeah.
as a man, I'm a fixer. I gotta fix things. So if there's a little tear, a little seam thing, learn how to pick up a needle and thread, man. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah. That's something I've been meaning to do this year. I'm still gonna try to finish it before the year's out. I want to learn how to sew so I can like I I want to do more breakdowns on figures where I actually show more.
Hmm.
And if you could strip some of the clothes, I think it would help not only to show people the range of motion, but how soft goods actually affect it as well.
Hmm.
I mean, I was gonna jack around at SDCC and pick people, in different clothes and stuff, because you see people in the community all the time. Be like, hey man, let me see if you could touch your toes, because everybody has different body types, everybody has
Yep.
different clothes on, and but it was more gonna be something like, hey, I know these are figures. I know that they're supposed to be dynamic and shit like that. But for people that are so hardcore on realism, you can't even touch your toes, and you expect these figures to do it, and but yeah,
I
um,
get you 100%, man. Like
yeah,
for me, it Spider-Man is an exception
Yeah.
to the rule as far as someone who could do acrobatics, martial arts,
Hmm.
stuff like that. That's my standard for Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Acrobatics and martial arts. If you're expecting McFarlane style of posing, you got to remember he's drawing that. No one can physically get their anatomy that way because no one's that long in the pelvic area.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a fine line because you're saying none of these characters, it's a character can't be shooting laser beams out of their eyes and stuff like that. And you know what I mean? And you can say, oh, well, he's doing that. You have to suspend reality and say, okay, he would be able to do this. I just, there's just certain things I'm just like, sometimes people are a little bit too strict on it. But
Yeah,
I'm going to
just
try to,
make it a gymnast. That's it. Just make it flexible like a gymnast, and they've been doing that. As a matter of fact, this new company, was it Win Toys?
hmm
They're giving us a blank body that is that's legitimately the digital model of the Marvel Rivals Hulk, and they're giving us four
oh,
colorways, and it's blank. You could do
I
whatever
think
you
I've
want
seen
to.
that. It's
Yeah,
like
it
posed
just
like
went up.
this or something like that. It was like,
He's huge, massive,
yeah, it
and
was
he
like,
got
yeah, I saw
joints.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
and
looked good.
yeah, he got joints for days. But you know what? The way they sculpted it, it's like when he stands straight, you can see the
Hmm.
muscles where they're supposed to go. You can't barely see a joint there. Like there's no discs making the joints look like a joint. It
Yeah.
looks like it's a part of the sculpt.
Yeah.
Like that's innovative. That's creative. That they're pushing the envelope with that. That's the
Yeah.
stuff we're looking for. But the posability for a big figure like that, that's something that a lot of people would try to compare and contrast. But you also got to remember this: it's a blank body versus a licensed IP. They may have restrictions on how much they could put into the engineering and R&D into a figure.
Yeah. One thing that does translate into is I don't know if they've announced the price, but money. So I know like a lot of people want certain things, but
Mm-hmm.
along with that comes like a price tag. I'm gonna skip ahead really quick because there's a couple of things I was gonna talk about really quick in terms of like updates really quick. So
Okay.
but yeah, man, that's exactly where I wanted to go with that segment, just to kind of hear, someone's perspective on their figure of the year. And yeah, that's cool because I the closing point I want to make about this is I really hope that people this year are a little bit more open to it. Just hearing people's stuff out, saying, "Oh, that's cool," and using it more of it as as maybe like a Pinterest board for their own kind of thing. Oh, well, why I didn't know that about, like you just mentioned, that Hulk body, the new one's coming out. It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Instead of being so resistant and saying, no, that's not your Dark Knight is better than not. It's not better than this Chaos one. I got into it with somebody. I didn't get into it, but
Mm-hmm.
this guy, he just kept getting on to me about this. He's like, this figure's better, and I was like, man, this is a prototype. They're not even. It hasn't even. This isn't the finished product. I was like, it hasn't even gone up for solicitation. How can you put a crown on another figure? And he just kept pushing it, and then finally, I told him, I said, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't collect that line. I was like, so this is a non-factor for me. You're like pitching to somebody who doesn't even want to buy the line. And he's like, oh, well, it's better. And I go, it's better for you. And that's what I don't think a lot of people understand because you lose stuff on the internet. I told him, I'll be honest with you. And because I try to be very PC about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'll be honest with you. I bought that figure. I had it for a day or two and I got rid of it. I was like, it wasn't for me. I said, but it was probably for you. I said, but it wasn't for me. I said, but the thing
Mm-hmm.
is that I'm not going in LPCC's group and saying Mezco is better. I'm not getting on and people, I never met this guy. And he just
Mm-hmm.
got on my post. He started, I was like, I've never gone on somebody's post I don't know and just say Mezco's better and then dip out. I was like, so this year I'm hoping, and I see it with creators all the time. I'm hoping that people would just be like, wow, that's interesting. I didn't even know about that figure, or wow, this is a person who has influence in the community. Maybe I should give it a try and be a little bit more open to stuff instead of just trying to say, yeah, your opinion doesn't matter. This is better. My dad's better than your dad and all that dumb shit.
Yeah.
Hey, you here? Come on in, bro. We're about to get to Mezco.
Ooh.
I know.
Yeah.
So this you got this coming, right? You said or no?
Oh, as soon as Emerald gets it in hand, he's sending it my way. So you know,
Nice.
I'm happy because I slept. I knew this was coming out, and I overslept because I work nights, so it's hard for me to get the drops. So
Oh yeah, yeah,
I either stay up until it
mhm,
comes and then I fall asleep until like 8 o'clock at night, until I go to work
yeah,
or whatnot, which is it's tough for me, especially on a Wednesday. You know, Wednesday I'm like I'm already done with the week. I'm ready to go to sleep. But
You're
you
like
know,
on that international collectors time zones to collect this stuff.
yeah. But at the same time, you know what, man, this is I let it happen because you never know who's looking out for who, and you build friendships through those interactions.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I think it's a lost quality in the group. I remember when MC and I have done this quite a bit. He's looked out for me a lot of times. If I want an extra or something, or if but people, I think it's a lost art in the community because people don't anymore. It's more of like trying to either take advantage of each other, or
It's the greed. It's the greed. It's the
it
greed.
is. But then also, I don't think that there's. I feel really fortunate because there's people here watching that I can like look at. I say, oh, that's my friend. That's
Mm-hmm.
someone I mess with in the groups and stuff. I talk
Yep.
to him offline, and so I know that if some guy goes to a convention I can't go to, like Legion's Con,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things is, hey man, you need anything from them? No, I'm good. I'm good. You know.
Yeah.
But I think that that's something that's lost, and it's because people don't network. People are so confrontational, and people don't want to build relationships, not for to use each other to get these things, but just to have a good relationship where if that did come into play, it could happen. You
Yeah,
know?
but that's also people in the circle in society always looking to be in that rat race, climbing on top of each other to get to the cheese. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you know what? In this day and age, we're the ones who are actual adults who have responsibilities, bills, kids, and all that other stuff. You know, we're not gonna step on toes for for the sake of just doing it. If you need
Yeah.
something and I offer it, let's go. But then there's the other half of that coin where it's like I'm gonna call every person until someone grabs it for me, and then when people are sitting on what they purchased and they don't have the money to pay it, that causes conflict within that same community because people ain't paying up. They're calling everybody to grab one for them
Yeah.
without sticking to one person definite to grab that specific item for them. You know.
Yeah. MC or like MC. So like we talk about this all the time too, networking and just you know what I mean? Like, are you there? Or,
Oh yeah, I'm here.
yeah. MC
What's up,
like
MC?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, my
oh
brother.
yeah, Lou is MC. MC, good guy, very good guy. Both of you guys,
Oh, thank you.
but yeah, we talk about that all the time too, like networking and building relationships, right?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, like, how many times have we had each other's back on pre-orders and stuff like that, where you're busy doing something or I'm busy and
Yeah,
hook each other up. Order extra. I got you.
yeah, and that's the good thing about it because you're taking care of your friends and stuff like that. And but I mentioned to Lou earlier because he was on international time. Um, this is the first time I've seen this, but uh, they had China Joy
Mm-hmm.
and Mezco had a booth over there. Pretty cool. Um, most of the stuff that you saw at San Diego, you saw here. They had a very clean display, a lot of regular things. I will pull something that Cece said that I thought made a lot of sense. Um, People were talking about, well, why do they show older stuff? Somebody asked me that at the con. They said, "Why do you guys show all this old stuff?" And I said, well, it's kind of like a timeline. I said, so you can kind of see where the company started, and you can see how far they've come. And Cece made a very good point about, well, if they were just showing what was available, there wouldn't really be a lot to display, right? Because exclusives and everything. But Joy Toy, they China Joy, or is it Joy Toy or China Toy? I think it was. I can't remember. I think
It's
it was.
China Joy.
Yeah, China Joy. China Joy. They showed off their stuff. Same thing. Most of the stuff that we've seen. They were packing a line through there. Started off kind of slow. Same thing. Showed Living Dead dolls. I'm skimming through this to get to a point. Uh,
Look at
I
that.
saw this and I thought to myself, "Damn, uh, that's a great idea." I like, because like lines that we have at the booth, man, sometimes they kind of go everywhere. They got their own like little security guard there. I was like, damn. Oh, is this not showing? Oh, it is. Okay, good.
It's showing. No, you good. It's
Okay.
showing.
So yeah, they had security and they were selling some of the exclusives as well. And
Yeah.
this is where we're kind of park at a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but um, and like I said, try to cover everything, make sure everything's not biased or anything like that. But I don't know if you guys saw this that they were selling the Phantom Knight and there were reports of like mold on them.
Oh,
No, I never heard of it.
Oh crap! Well, let me skip over this then. No, but yeah, there were quite a few people that said they got their figures there, and they had a little bit of a mold problem. Some of
Wow.
them, yeah, some of them had different stuff. Have you guys seen? I've seen this before. I know MC and I have seen this before with it
with
was
it.
the PX sod cutter, the Ghastly
Yeah,
Ghouls one, Ghostly Ghouls one.
I
Was
remember
it the blue
that.
one?
You said what? No.
The blue saw cutter?
Yeah, he had some. There was some. I'd order a couple, and one of mine had it pretty bad, but the other one didn't.
Mm.
And then MC, is there any other ones you can remember or no?
No, that was it, and I was lucky I didn't have that. But I remember, was it Minis that had it really bad?
Minis had a bad one. How
Mm.
popular is Mezco in China? I would assume that's pretty popular because they have factories over there. They're made over there. I keep seeing.
But that's weird though. How long? How fast does that mold have to be? Like to grow. Like that. It has to be sitting for somewhere that's really bad.
So this is one of like we talk about this on the show, like with some of the pleather material and stuff like that.
Hmm.
A lot of it is dependent on how the figures are obviously handled, at
Hmm.
the factory too. If you let's say you had water and stuff on your hands and you got it on the figure and then you put it in there. I'm not saying that they did it, but there's always little variables. It's like Contingent. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's
Hmm.
like one or two variables and then it starts spreading through.
Hmm.
But also another factor is I was doing some research on this was another factor is how they're stored pre-transport.
Yep.
So if you're storing them in a place that has high humidity and it's just
Mhm.
soaking that stuff in.
Yeah.
Also, you're putting everything on a cargo ship. It's not always smooth sailing now. So I don't know if you guys have seen those videos, but where the water is like constantly just going over on
Mhm.
the ships and stuff.
Yeah.
They're locked up. Maybe moisture and stuff gets trapped in there too. I was reading some guys were saying that some the little silica packs that they have in there, they were kind of like they'd already sucked out most of the moisture.
So it reached capacity.
Yeah, and there's only so much it can handle. I do know when I was, because I said I was doing a bunch of research on this too. I saw people that were getting their figures from here,
Hmm.
and they said that they didn't have any issues.
Mm.
So I don't know if it was isolated to whatever, you know what I mean? Like if it was there
Hmm.
and then everything was fine here because it was climate controlled and taken care of. I mean, these things do happen. It sucks that it happens, but I was really interested in seeing what was gonna. This is just a QC thing. We've seen
Oh,
this kind of stuff before,
yeah.
but I was very interested in seeing how the U.S. Ones were going out. This is unfortunate, but the good thing about this and the reason why I brought it up was this. MC, do you remember how we took care of it before? I know what I did. Did you do anything special?
Fortunately, I didn't have any mold on my side cutter.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm. So, and Lou, have you ever dealt with this before or no?
Uh, Not necessarily with Mezco, but stored figures, yes. I used a couple of Clorox wipes which is like not so much more Clorox than it is alcohol wipes, and just
Ah,
like
okay.
clean it up without damaging it and do a light touch. If I have to like really get in there, right? Then the whole area, like if it's the pants, like in this area, and the tunic, the
Yeah.
whole area is getting the alcohol treatment.
Now, quick question for you. I know you said Storm, like that's majority all plastic, right? It's either there's no soft goods or is there soft goods?
No, sometimes it's soft goods. Most of the times it's not. It's in the plastic area, and when it's
Mhm.
plastic, it gets wiped down, and then I heat treat it with hair dryer, just so that way it could like really get in there and get really really hot and just kind of kill whatever it's there.
Oh, like
And
you're sanitizing it, kind of.
yeah, and then the same thing I do with the fabrics. But if it's like pleather and stuff, I just gotta make sure I like wipe it down really good and put a sealant on top or something to prevent anything from getting onto it a little bit further. But what do you do?
But see, that's cool because you and Son kind of had the same thing. So when I was looking at this stuff, they actually had a couple people offer suggestions. Like mine, what I did was I kept mine out, and it's probably not the best idea, but I just took a little bit of warm water
Mhm.
and I took a toothbrush and I kind of brushed it off and I kept it out,
Yeah.
for it to completely dry. And I did that probably 2 or 3 times from the research that I saw. But this goes with what Son said and you said. I saw a lot of people saying that they same thing. They took a toothbrush and they would put a little bit of alcohol on it and then they would scrub it out.
Mhm.
Same thing, and you do that a couple of times. And like I said, this kind of stuff happens, but the good thing about it is if it does happen, there's ways to get off. It's unfortunately it's out of control and it shouldn't happen, but you know what I mean. At least we know ways to kind of take care of it.
Yeah. It also could be somebody who's handling it probably touched something they wasn't supposed to, and because what they touched or what was on their glove got
Yeah,
onto the figure, and that particular individual's packaging it, you know, it led to all that happening. That it could be that or even like you said before, where it was stored and then we're just grabbing it because that's not that's not something you want to really deal with, especially for those who are very particular about toys, like we said earlier. QC issues, it should come perfect because I paid all this money for it. I'm like, no.
yeah,
Unfortunately, even your sneakers that you put on your feet to walk to work and come back to home every day, they ain't perfect either. Something's off
yeah,
by centimeters, millimeters, and something just kind of doesn't fit right. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I got what is it? Those Bloodline Jordans. I
yeah.
bought those, and man, there was something inside the tongue. I don't know how if it was sewn awkward,
Hmm.
but man, I was wearing. I know you have to break them in, but I was
Yeah.
wearing them one day, and I'm like, oh my god, it was cutting into my foot, and it was only one side, and I was like, damn. So like I had to readjust it, do some things, and then when I got home, I messed around with it a little bit more, and it's better now. But yeah, I mean, you are paying a lot of money for something. I know that there's an expectation for it, so I mean, I totally understand it, and it's an unfortunate thing. But like I said, I was just trying to point something out to where if this does happen to you, there's little ways to take care
There's
of it.
options. There's
Yeah.
options.
We'll move on real quick to charging and shipping. Got some good stuff with this. Let's see here. So we were just talking about it, but Doc Knock is shipping. If you're somebody, because of what we just talked about, if you're somebody that likes to keep their figures in package and not check them and stuff, and they're mint on card, I would definitely check this one. Like I said, I've seen other people say they haven't had any issues, but it's always good to check your stuff. So
Mhm.
that's shipping out right now. Superman charged. I think it was earlier this week, August 3rd,
Mhm.
and that's moved to the shipping queue for Mezco on their site. It doesn't mean that it started shipping. I haven't seen anything yet, but it has moved to the shipping queue, and that's pretty good. Uh, Lou, did you pick this up?
I did not get this in particularly because I have the Hot Toys. And what I did get though, as far as like when it comes to Superman, um, is Christopher Reeves. To me, that is like my end all be all Superman, and that one just like hits differently for me. This one, I think I'll probably get later on. another thing is, I don't have a lot of money. Just like everybody else, you gotta pay bills and stuff. But the best
Can
part
you
of
see me? Can you hear me?
collecting, yeah, I can hear you. The
Can you
best
hear me?
part of, yep, you good?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes,
Oh, I can't hear you guys. Let me pop in,
yep,
pop out. Darius called me again.
gotcha.
This guy.
Um, and that's another thing. Streamyard being Streamyard.
Keep talking.
Yeah, but MC, did you get this?
Oh no. um, no, I don't really get movie fakes typically,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of my pictures are based on if my kid likes it or not, and he was not a fan. So um,
Yeah,
There
makes
we go.
sense.
I'm back. Keep going.
5x5 on
No,
the
it's Darius.
piece. Yeah, so I
Told you, he
still,
always calls me, man. I'm doing a show.
yeah,
Are you guys talking?
yeah, we were
yeah,
talking. I asked him,
Okay,
see
I
if
can hear
he,
you. All right, cool.
yeah, I asked him see if
Yeah,
he got
yeah,
this.
you dude. This
What
guy.
up, D? What up,
uh,
Is Lou
D?
talking? Is Lou talking?
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
talking. Do you
I
hear me?
can't hear him.
Ah,
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear me,
me?
Paige?
I can hear you. I can't hear Lou.
I'm gonna hop out and come back in for you.
He's gonna
Okay.
hop out and come back in, Paige.
He said, my bad, my bad.
D broke the internet.
He did. I told you, like, he always had a streak of calling me.
Can you hear me, okay, Paige?
I can hear you, yeah. You can hear me, right? All right, maybe this will
Paige,
reset it.
Hop
Yeah, I
on
can hear
now.
you. I can hear you.
All right, we're in business.
MC, can you hear us?
I can't hear Paige. Can you hear him, Lou?
I can hear him.
You
It's
probably
it's
need to back out and then come back in like Lou did.
Oh
yeah.
shoot.
You're gonna have to back out and come back in like I did.
Okay.
Paige said. I just did the same thing that MC did for me. But yeah, I was asking him about the Superman, and he normally doesn't buy movie figures,
No, yeah,
unless his son likes it, and I get that. You know what I mean? I watch you guys often, and I know
no, he
okay.
knows that this one's kind of a hard one for me. I am not too interested in this one.
Yeah, I
I
got my
bought it.
reasons.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried watching the movie. I tried watching the movie again.
Mhm.
It's I don't know. So I'm hoping that this will give me a little bit of a different perspective. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Testing.
MC?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear MC though. I added him.
Yeah, but he has two images. He has to. But there we go.
You hear now? No.
MC, you here? See, it's the StreamYard. I was talking about it earlier. StreamYard. It's
Yeah, I
always
can't see
StreamYard.
this. Maybe if he logs in, logs out.
If he's using the app, he will have to close the app entirely to come
Yeah.
back in. Because I was like figuring out StreamYard and all the little stuff because I stream almost every day with other friends of mine.
Yeah.
And it's just pain in the butt.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this one's a sore source of contention. This is probably the one that I'm least excited about.
Well, that's okay. Like we talked about earlier, not everything's for everybody. You know what I mean? But it is
I
for
know,
somebody.
man. I know, but there's a perception. But like, so this one is getting it's just charged. It should be shipping. If you're interested in this, you can obviously hit up any of your group sellers because they'll be getting their stuff. Sometimes people cancel. If you want to, you can get on Mezco's website. They have that one. Also, they have Red Sun Superman. I saw that was available, and they also have Gambit. Gambit is supposed to be charging on the 15th. I had a couple of people asking me questions about this one. Like, it's not advertised as a testing. Can you hear MC?
I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect.
I
We
can't.
in business.
I can't hear him.
You can't hear MC?
No. Yeah, it's weird.
Lou, I'll be home in a couple minutes. I'll try on my
I can't hear
laptop.
him.
Tell him.
Sounds good. He said he'll be home in a couple of minutes. He's gonna try on his laptop.
That sounds good. All right, bro.
All right.
But Gambit, yeah, I had a couple of people ask me this isn't like labeled a reissue, but they were asking if they thought anything was different with this. When I looked at they didn't have this on display. Did they? Well, if they had it on display at San Diego, it was the other
They
version.
did. They did,
Yeah,
and it was next to Nightcrawler.
yeah. So this one, the one that was there, it
Mhm.
wasn't the new version. It was just the
Okay.
one that they had from before. So you can't really tell. Um, I I don't think that it's going to be a different version. There's not going to be any upgrades or anything. If anything, there might be some deco changes on all these reissues. There may be a deco change, and they may have changed the box. But I think
Mhm.
whatever you're getting in terms of like that is what you're going to get that you got previously. So just so people know.
Yeah. Similar to the Popeye, Popeye. I have all the Popeyes from the old one and the new one, and the plastic itself was different. The plastic specifically
Hmm.
different, but the molds, the way they were doing it, it's pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah.
The stitching is the same. The colors are pretty much the same, but it's just.
Popeye, the one with Popeye, the differences with him was is they all of that stuff that you said, yeah, but they added a darker wash to him.
Yes,
They did change a couple of the accessories, just like paint app wise, and then the box was different.
the
The
box
box was
paint
smaller.
apps, and I think the weathering you can apply to it being just a little bit different. Like it's a more heavy handed. It'll be different depending on which, like
Yeah,
who, depending on which one you get, you're gonna get a different version every time. You know.
yeah. It wasn't like uniform across. I've seen like I got two, and there was like you said, there was parts like the nails, some of them the hands and stuff like
Some,
that were
yeah, some of
washed
them dirty, some
differently.
of them
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
It's a mixed bag.
yeah,
But you know, it to me, it's like people were wondering, what is it going to be, 1-to-1 reissue? This is not, Hasbro. It is not Hasbro. It's Mezco. They're gonna come. They're gonna bring it, and upon people's request, they're gonna get it.
yeah,
This technical reissue, even though it's not labeled a reissue, it's a reissue. That's
yeah,
all it is. Like worrying about labels and getting the same item, like Spider-Man 2099 reissue. Leave it alone. That's it. You know,
yeah.
no controversy, no nothing. Just let it be. If you already have the original one, let it be.
Yeah, and I actually that's one of the sections we'll have. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Hey man, good to see you, Carlos. How you doing, bro? Good to see you, bro.
So
So there is this is kind of like a stats for nerds, but then it's also to get kind of people prepared. I always like to make sure people are informed about this stuff. But
yep.
so these items are shipping right now.
Mhm.
Currently, they have passed what they actually made last year. So last year there was like 24 figures. They've already surpassed that.
Mhm.
I personally think that they're on track to break their record for offerings for a year.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe you can talk about it. He said it's all good. That you should come on and talk with us. I don't know if he'll be able to get on. There's so much shit happening with streaming, but maybe you want to talk about this. You know how like they do. And I've asked the guys this before too, so outside perspective is cool.
Yeah.
Um, you know how there's a list of figures that are kind of new. Maybe I would include Letterman because it's a different version. These other ones, but
Yeah.
would you count a figure that they? And I asked the guys this before,
Mhm.
but again, getting a different perspective. Would you count a figure that was already released before? Would you count that as a figure for that year, or would you that get an
Uh,
asterisk? Zoinks! I know this dude. Yeah.
I actually would count it for this year. Reason being because it's in the
Mhm.
books, it's in the money, it's in the research and development, and it goes into space that's being consumed for the year for something else. So if it's another reissue or a second run, a second printing of it, you're basically getting a figure. It doesn't change it
Okay.
whether it was like 4 years ago and
Mhm.
now they're giving it to us again for those who didn't get it are going to get it, and for those who want to double dip, they're getting it. So it's a product, it's an item. You're going to get it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I knew
I
there was
equivalent with
some
your
like you remember White Skull Agent? Some
agents.
of
Yeah,
us got
the
that
white
one
skull agent. Yeah.
early. Yeah, they some of us got it early and then they opened it up for the next year. And so it was technically on like 2 years. And then we had a discussion about Doctor Doom too. We
Hmm.
were like, oh, it's already been out and it's kind of close. But yeah, what you're saying makes sense. I always make two lists for the end of
Hmm.
the year. I say, this year I thought I was going to do that too, so I made like two separate lists to kind of
Okay.
include photo and then take those out.
Well,
But
see, I can see it. I can see it if it's I want to say like roughly a month apart. They reopen the listings, right?
yeah,
That
yeah,
reopen listings is just the second batch.
yeah,
That's different from, okay, it's been a year since we already had this figure out. We're gonna reopen the order button for this so that way we could push it out again. But it's
yeah,
not gonna come out this year. It's gonna come out next year. So to me, it still happens within the books. You know what I mean? It goes according to the books, unless it's slated
yeah,
to come out this particular window, because some people got theirs earlier, some people got theirs later. But it's, even though it's that funny couple of weeks difference, but
yeah.
people want their money. Business people want their money, but also the collectors want their figures. So it's a good healthy balance, and I think it should be included, especially if it's been a couple of years. Like, we're gonna get a new box with Gambit, completely new box. It's not gonna be that big jumbo box we got last time. It's gonna be the small
Yeah,
one,
they've been kind of going smaller, man.
and
They've
I
been,
prefer that. I prefer
yeah,
that. If they did that early on, I
yeah,
think I would still have a lot of my Mezco boxes. I got rid of all my Mezco boxes.
yeah. I've been doing that purge lately too. Like ones that I've been unboxing, I was storing in my attic because they don't have anything. I don't have to worry about anything. But
Mhm.
then after a while, you start running out. I have a lot of room in my attic, but I just don't want it to be all boxes. And
Yeah.
I'm like, some of these I was like, I'll throw these away because I already have another one on card. It's cool. But yeah, I usually do that too. Like if they have a figure that was in there, like if there was something that I think it was Doctor Octopus or Doctor Doom, one of those came out and people were
Mhm.
getting them before the end of the year. I can't remember
Yep.
which one,
Uh,
but it was like that. I just
mhm.
counted it for that year because people were getting it in that year, and then the next year I just didn't even count it. So, but we have a lot coming out. This is Q3. Just to kind of give people a little bit of an updated look. Some of these dates are changed and they're all fixed and everything, but these two, they are in the queue and they're cooking and they'll get ready to deliver. These two haven't changed. Batman and Dark Knight. The dates haven't changed for these. That's a good thing because usually that means it's either still on the water, kind of close, or that's going through customs and they haven't changed the date yet.
Mhm.
And then the ones that I saw, I'm not saying that they're finished, but the ones that I saw at San Diego, they were pretty complete. They were functional. They had accessories and stuff. Same thing with Shredder. He was,
I can't wait.
uh, yeah, dude, that thing, man. The people that pissed on that figure, man. Oh man,
Oh,
that one is Splinter.
I can't,
Splinter is really good.
bro. I cannot wait because I already have two on pre-order, right? And I'm waiting for more because he has three different hex sculpts.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So
Yep,
I'm gonna have three different ways to display him if I wanted to, and I got three different sets of turtles. I got that all red bandana pack. I got
yeah,
the animated pack, and I got this. So
yeah.
I'm happy. Just
I I hate to jump out the window. Like I didn't do it during Letterman, and I've like kind of teased some of them and said this is gonna be good. This like Shredder be good. Splinter's gonna be good.
mhm.
I I still say these movie turtles. Once people get them in hand, they're gonna
Oh, they're gonna slap.
people. Well, yeah, because I think you're gonna get some backlash from NECA purists because of the price point, availability, and different stuff that you can get with it. But I did that set, man. It's really cool. Splinter's really done really well too.
Well, I could put a cork in it because when it comes to NECA don't
Yeah,
got it no more. They ain't gonna push it no more. That's one.
And
Two,
nobody does. Nobody has
two,
it except
two.
for what was it,
Mondo,
Seven?
Mondo,
Huh? Which one?
Mondo.
Are they? But they still have a license. I
They
heard that
still have a
all.
they still have it because they showed off of things that are in the works. They still have to sell out. So they showed all four turtles with Shredder, and then on
Right.
their panel
Hmm.
they showed a footbot, a foot soldier,
Yeah.
Bebop and Rocksteady, and in a stream after the convention, I think it was Peter who had said that there's one more figure in that line to come out that they did not announce or teased, and no
Yeah.
one guessed what it is.
So when I was reading, and then also when I was talking to people at the con, they said that that companies, some, and the date will vary, but most companies are hardline capped to December of this year. That
Mm-hmm.
they can solicit all the way until then, but
Yes.
then afterward they cannot sell product afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and then they have like, and then some companies have 90 days after that date. So maybe like Mondo is sticking in there because I know Mezco, they teased a couple of other things too that haven't gone up yet.
Oh,
So it's like, yeah.
listen.
I know, right? But
But
this
yeah.
really quick. So they got these, this is all, and I'm showing this for a reason because um the way this is right now, and like I said before, I still think that they'll probably either come very close or they'll probably break their record for number of releases for a year.
Mhm.
You have all of this right now. New York Comic Con is coming up. Yeah, you're gonna be there, right?
Of course, I'm there all
It'll be
four
good to
days.
see you, bro. Be good to see you and your wife, man.
Yes, you'll see me there. You'll see me there.
Yeah, good. So they're gonna have New York Comic Con. We just had San Diego Comic Con. Remember, you have these. I'll give you a total here in a second, but you have these already for Q3. We haven't hit Q4 yet. There's still quite a few for those. Do you think at New York they're gonna go balls out like they did at San Diego and offer, 3 or 5 exclusives?
Yes, and I think the reason why they should is because people kept coming to the booth. I witnessed that myself. So
Yeah.
people kept coming to the booth. Now it also depends on the offer, right? A lot of people that hung out with that didn't know nothing about Mezco, and I brought them to the booth and kind of introduced them. They knew, they knew Red Hood, they knew Spider Man and Green Goblin and whatnot. They're
Yeah.
like, yo, what's up with this weird looking, Yeti and this dude in a freaking
Oh
hockey
yeah,
vest?
yeah,
They they
yeah.
they didn't know, so I had to fill them in. I'm like, this is their version of, you know, Batman, Moon Knight, and Frankenstein all wrapped in one character. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, really? I'm like, I said, listen, Mezco's Dark Man. That's Dark Man right there. You know what I mean? That like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
can't
He's
get
gonna
no
be
better
getting a
than that.
lot of shine, bro. He's gonna
Yeah.
get a lot of that figure is that line. I know a lot of people bang on the other two, like you were talking about, the Christmas and the Yeti
Yeah.
one.
Oh, I
That
love those.
line is I not just me like looking at books for them or anything, because that's not, I'm talking about just when I've been there. You saw me like in New
Yeah,
York. You were there too.
dude.
That stuff
You
is
was
like
you was
so.
setting up. I'm talking to you. I'm like, I'm trying not to be rude and distract you.
Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, man, you were cool, man. I feel bad because like when I'm doing something, I want to like talk to people, but like they're like, you got to get this hurry up and set up for the
Hmm.
show and stuff, and it's
Hmm.
like, but people, like you said, people are still lining up for that stuff, and
Hmm.
it's, I think they're really gonna kind of go deep with him, in terms like, because especially with this last one. Oh God, this thing is it's
I'm
ridiculous.
afraid that I think the New York Comic Con exclusive will be the all black variant of this one. Not the jet black where the mask and swords and everything's black. No, no, no. I'm talking about like the red tunic is going to be black, more of that classic Doc Nocturnal look.
Hmm.
That's what I think that's gonna happen for Con. But dude, I will be
Characters,
happy
so
to
he
buy a
has
bunch of them.
Barbie versus him working with other hunters with me.
That hey, that works too. But you know what? Looking at this particular one, you know what it reminds me of? Of a particular character that I think was, for the most part, figure of the year
Yeah,
when it came out, and that was Solomon Kane. He
yeah.
kind of reminds me of Solomon Kane the way he's built.
He has a lot of parts from stuff that came, but no, I think this is the reason why they don't lock themselves into certain storylines. You know how everybody's always wanting comic books and they want them to like be very specific with the lore.
Hmm.
We talked about this on the show before that I think that's the reason why they don't do it
Yep.
because like people are very you have Spider-Man as an established character, you know his abilities, who he hangs around with, you know what he does. With these characters, and if you have the comics, you can see it in the comics. All of these characters like cross over into each into each realm, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like I remember Atticus Doom was they had panels of him with Krieg, the Krieg
Yep.
13 and
Yep.
and so like they do and this one, I don't think people have like latched on to the fact that this is supposed to take place before all of that stuff.
Hmm.
So
This is
he's
precursor.
yes, so he's that when I've heard so many people say I don't like the head, it ruins the mystique, from before. It's like, well, these are the stories from the beginning. And you can go back. There's a comic. I think I talked about it last time on the show. It's this small panel, and they
Hmm.
took this idea from that small panel where there's a bunch of them out there, and all of them are unmasked. So I think that it's like you said, it's like a prequel. They just went all the way
Yeah.
forward, but it gives them good latitude because you can still fill in that thing. But I'm not locked in the storyline. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's
Like,
great because it allows the imagination to play. And I think that's like the best part of having the Rumble Society stuff, because you can make up whatever you want in your head, canon, and just have fun with it. Like,
yeah,
dude, I had what's his name? Slugfest chilling with the turtles.
yeah,
What is Slugfest? To me, he looks like a mutant. You
yeah.
know what I mean? He has cyborg parts. You don't see his face. You don't see his arms because he don't have any. They're mechanical, right? But he's rocking that Bluto body. We know that, and he's kind of gray and blue underneath.
Yeah,
It works. You know what I mean? It works.
that's it.
Just throw them in there in the mix with everybody else. You can even make them into a Superman villain or a Batman villain. They work. They just use your imagination.
Yeah, and sometimes like some of those guys, like I remember I had Grub, and I taken Grub. Grub. You seen him? Like he's in different outfits and stuff.
I
And
love
I
it.
remember I was doing pictures and stuff, and I had all of them out. And Meza told me he's like don't put all of those out together. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he goes yeah. He goes it's one character, so you have them all out like that. It's just supposed to be one character. It's not like a whole. It's not like Gremlins and stuff. And I go, oh, my bad. Now, I think I asked him something about Gomez. I said, well, there's so many different versions of Gomez. I go, is it only he's only supposed to be one place? And he goes, well, that's what the void's for. And I go, oh, and so he writes all the stories. He has, I mean, it's his rules. You know what I mean? Like in terms
Hmm.
of like, he's that Stanley kind of person
Yeah.
creating all that stuff. Because I've asked him too. Like I asked him about the Baron Benz, like the tectonic
Yeah.
disruptor, like one. I was like, well, they have different alternate head sculpts. Can you put those on, and then they can all, I was like, or is that one character? Can you have an army build of the alternate heads,
Hmm.
or is it just one character? And and that's subject to interpretation, and
Subject
so,
to
and so
interpretation.
that's
That's
what I'm
all.
saying. He does this thing where he keeps it open for people.
Yes.
Maybe it's not communicated that way, but I'd much rather see them do the Doc vehicle or something more sidekick villains, Doc variant. Oh, you're seeing something like this instead of that. The character has so much potential. Give him the arch nemesis like Vex and Atticus doing. I agree with this. It would be nice to have monsters because he's supposed to be this monster that hunts monsters, and we have a few, but we don't have a lot.
Mhm.
So having that, and then the car thing, I'll be honest with you. I want to get your thoughts on this too, but the
Yeah.
car thing, I've seen that thing. I've seen like the prototype for it. I don't know where they're gonna go with it, but it was insanely detailed. And so to me, that just means I don't know
It's
how
ready.
much of that is gonna translate to an actual vehicle, but I'm cool with them taking their time with it. because if they're going to put that much into it, I don't know what the price would be. And with all of this right now, like
Mm-hmm.
this, this stuff that we see right now,
Mm-hmm. Your
I'm
pockets
I'm
are empty.
I'm cool. Like, let me finish this stuff first before.
Yeah, my pockets are empty, bro. Like I ain't got
I
no
know,
funds.
right?
You
He
got me
said,
already,
"Land
bro.
Reaper is
What more you
coming."
want?
You already did the voiceover for the announcement. No, I didn't.
No.
I wish that would be cool, but no,
Yeah.
no.
Well, I agree that we should get more monsters. I'm a monster buff. I love monsters.
Yeah,
But when it comes to that vehicle, I saw it last year. And it it looked amazing. And I would want to get it too.
yeah,
Um if I was to put a price tag on what I'm willing to pay for,
yeah.
I bought some crazy stuff at
Right.
crazy prices. So I'm not going to be at liberty to say. But what I would say this, if
Hmm.
the if it's an uncertain territory, I would not be opposed to Mezco doing a legit crowdfunding on their site for this specific item to
Yeah.
see how many people actually want it.
Mm.
Or a poll, rather. If
Or
they do a
or a
poll,
pre-order. Would you wait if they did a pre-order? If they said, "Hey, we're gonna do this, but we need to narrow down the units. We got to be sure
yeah,
about this," and
yep,
they gave you just a solicitation.
yep.
Because I don't think that they're into the crowdfunding thing. I think
I
that they
believe that.
like,
But I would
yeah,
agree to. I'll put my
yeah,
pre-order in. If they say from this window to this window, we need this many units to be sold, so that way
yeah,
this could be funded. They
yeah,
got my money. They got my money.
yeah. I I, I think they take a lot of pride in not. I'm not knocking a company that does it because
Hmm.
everybody does it for different reasons.
Hmm.
And it seems like Hasbro's even moving over to this made to order system. But the caveat to that is that, hey, we'll do this and we're not going to take your money up front, but we need that. We need to lock down numbers because
Hmm.
the way the economy is for everything. I don't care if it's $1 billion company, you're still watching your money. It'd be bad business if you just say, yeah, we'll just make 10,000 units and we'll see if it happens. So
Yeah.
it's like you gotta watch your margins. They have other toy lines and stuff like that they're trying to like balance as well. And
Hmm.
some of those toy lines do better, to be honest with you, than G.I. Joe and Marvel Legends. But that's pre-ordering is the way that these companies they lock down these numbers because
Yeah.
it's different than making 10,000. If you say only 5,000 people are interested in this, maybe 400 or 500 flake on it and they bow out, but we can always use the wait list to do that. But there's a big difference between 4,000 and 10,000 and hitting a loss. People don't understand that. I think that they
Yeah.
think,
Yeah, because a lot of people haven't been in the business for R&D, not NRD, R&D, research and
yeah,
development, which
yeah,
goes into your engineering, your paints, your fabrics, your sewers,
yeah,
your people who are doing wire work, if there's any lights in it and stuff like that, because those go to
yeah,
different people for different reasons at different points in time. And then you got the shipment between that goes to that. So it's like, okay, we're done with this. We're gonna box this up and ship it to the next factory, so that way they could take care of it if it's not done in one factory. So
yeah.
it's a lot of red tape. But
Coyote has a really good point, and I'm with this. I want to hear what you think about this. But monsters are cool. I know that some monsters that you would have would be cool just to have new bodies and everything else like that. But some of this stuff, I wouldn't mind if it was filler characters. So like
Mhm.
if they did use some of the older bodies, like the King Kong body that you have on
Yeah,
Mosquatch or your guy that you just mentioned, Slugfest, I would be
Slugfest.
okay with that. It would be cool if they did it on the Hulk, but man, that body is so nice, bro. Uh,
Dude, like
it- man,
I
jeez,
want to
dude.
talk to you on the back about Grundy, bro. I
Well,
want to talk to you about
I
Grundy.
can only talk about what I saw. That was it. Like, what
That
I'm talking
I
about.
know you can only talk about what you saw, but I need to ask the details on the Grundy. That's it.
It's yeah. It's I'll say this. It's a definite upgrade. We all sat around because we have posing tables and stuff like that where we just
Mhm.
kind of do our stuff and then we'll put them in the display. All of us put hands on that thing. and we were all just sitting there just messing with it. So I'm like,
Oh,
wow.
she
And
was
then
so she was the new girl around the block.
man, yeah, she got passed like Jenny, boy. She was like,
Woo!
we were all. There was a couple of figures that were at the show that honestly, this is how I know I really like the line and I can separate the two.
Hmm.
But as a fan, as a collector, there were figures there that we were handling. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Like Splinter was probably a huge one for me because I didn't know, he still there, but it was all the accessories and just the head sculpts. He has his heads. I don't know if I can pull it up
I don't want
on
you
their
to get in
site.
trouble. Don't, I know I'm a turtle. I don't want you to get in trouble. Don't
No,
pull
no,
it
no, no. I'm very careful. Like I I feel like they trust me enough not to give secrets away. But if it's
Gotcha.
something that's in the cabinet and something
Yeah.
that I observe, that's how I talk about it. I
Copy.
don't sit there
Copy.
and say, "Hey, this has the," I've been talked to about that before. So
Okay.
I'm very,
That's why
very
I'm
careful.
cautious on what I'm asking. But when it comes to Grundy, right? Like he looks like there's some parts of him that are superly different from Hulk, and I think if it's not the posing, right, it's something else because he looks bigger by
Yeah,
height.
it's kind of hard. Like one thing you have to take into consideration is like some of those figures, like Hulk. We and I've said this before on the show too. I know a lot of people think that you got like a couple of guys from the community, and you think that okay, they work with them and like they'll just talk positively about them and stuff like. It works both ways, man.
Mhm.
Like I, me, I've sat
Yep.
there and I've watched the group and I write stuff down,
Yep.
not only for feedback for them, but I'm like, okay, they say that this figure can't do this. Bet when we get to the show, I'm going to show you that it can do it. If
Mhm.
it can, if it's not a prototype, right? But that's
Mhm.
good because that answers questions, right?
Yep.
If people are sitting there saying that was the biggest one, as soon as we got the Hulk in there,
Mhm.
I said, hey, can we please make this thing clap? I'm like,
Yes,
please let me do this,
that was the
you
best
know?
decision ever, bro. Because I was like, I
Yeah,
need to
and
see
and
that
so
thunderclap,
we
bro.
were, yeah, and so we were doing it, and then we have it's kind of weird. We do like draft picks and stuff, but people will grab certain figures, and Darius got it, and I said, Darius, I was like, please do me a favor, man, please, 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 please. I was gonna do it because I started it,
Mhm.
and he's like, I got it. He's like, I was like, please just make this thing clap. And there was another pose that we are gonna put him in, and I was like, no, dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm like, please put it in the clap. I'm telling you. It's like this is going to answer a lot of the questions that people have because that's all you kept hearing about, right?
Oh, dude,
And so he's like, yeah,
that was the concept. That was the biggest concern for everybody who got that maximum Hulk and was like, "Yeah, that's better than what's to come with Mezco." I'm like,
yeah.
Have he who have little faith, please have faith in Mezco.
Well, yeah, but it's hard. Like I get it because the Photoshop images and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
that's why I've been telling people you have to wait. I know it's hard because you're pre-ordering off of a
Image.
image, right?
Hmm.
You're making your decision off that. And then people have said before, they're like, there's this whole thing about posing figures and can this figure do this pose? Some people can't do the pose. And so that's why I'll take a figure and I'll do it, right? Because if Darius is probably like the best poser out of all of us, but I can do some poses, I
Hmm.
can get him in poses and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So I'll push a figure.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
so when we're there, that was the whole thing. Getting feedback from the community, somebody will say, this figure can't do that. So that's good because you
Hmm.
have people from the community at the booth. You're like, okay, well, this will answer some of those questions, right?
Hmm.
Like I know then and like NECA Turtles, everybody kept saying that the articulation wasn't going to be good. And so like I took Mikey
Yeah.
and I put him like this Chuck's holding like
Like
this.
this.
There was another pic. I have a picture of him. It's really cool. I think I'll post it like in a couple of days.
Hmm.
But there was another pose I had him in, but we scrapped it.
Mm.
But it was to show that he had
That
this range
range.
in his arms. Yeah, like I mean, his arm, I can't even do it, bro. His arms are like this.
Yeah, he could touch his shoulder.
Yeah, but the whole thing was to like you have guys in the community that hear and see this stuff, and we're collectors too. And we're like, okay, why not why not take this opportunity to kind of like show people what the figure is capable of at that point in time? And so, yeah, that Hulk figure, like some of them, to go back what you're saying, like a Solomon Grundy.
Yeah.
So some of them, because of that clap pose,
Yeah.
you just can't have them standing there. It has to be like,
You're
you
hunched
know,
over.
knees. Yeah, and so there's that height difference.
Yeah, but I was talking about, like, I remember seeing him last convention, right? Where you saw him and he was a little hunched over, but he was like imposing, like he was giving you that. "Urgh."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Some
I
of
was
those are
looking
like
at the
loose.
structure of Grundy. I'm like, okay, he don't look like a 7-inch figure. He don't look like a 7-inch. He
He,
look
he
bigger.
he's
He look,
big. I mean, he's big. Oh, you mean like taller?
yeah, taller. That's what I mean by bigger. I don't mean by girth, or pause, width,
Yeah.
or anything like that. But I meant by height, because it looks like he has a neck that has the hunch over, like
Yeah.
saw cutter, like saw
Oh,
cutter.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He looks like he has that hunch. So I'm wondering if that's also on the Hulk, or if that's just the head sculpt playing tricks
Yeah.
with my eyes, because that happens too. Because I only see one frontal of Solomon Grundy. I'm like this, drooling all over it. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, the
You have to
toes
be
out of the
careful
boots.
because some of those figures, like I know there's some figures like they need more room, so some of them are pushed backwards farther than other ones.
Yeah.
But that's something else. So there's a layout that we usually follow, right?
Hmm.
And then sometimes what we'll do is we'll kind of like, and they have this in the design layout too for us for the cases. Like sometimes we'll put quote figures closer together to kind of give people an understanding of those height differences,
Hmm.
because people will say, "Is this one taller than that?" It was a little bit harder to do it with Cap and Thor at the time, but because
Yeah.
they were in different positions. But you try to show people if you're really good. Most of the time when you go, even when you see pictures, if you go to the booth, obviously
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
but if you even see video or photos, most of the time, anytime somebody has a question about one of these figures, what it can't do, it's done with that figure if it can be done. If it's
Yeah.
not a prototype, if it's standing there straight, it's a prototype. You can't do anything with it.
Oh
But
yeah, that I know.
yeah,
That I know. I
but most
remember the
people
struggle.
don't. Yeah, most people don't. Most people are like, why is he in that boring pose? It's
Well,
because
see,
that's what you got.
that's another thing. I know people want to get sold on figures, but I'm like, you got to remember, these are not Marvel Legends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 90% of them are connected via pins, and you can get some range of motion. With a lot of the other ones, especially the well sculpted ones from Mezco, you're looking at glued and pinned items that doesn't have the range yet, because the actual design, like the ball socket design that's on Popeye and the Turtles,
Mhm.
hasn't been developed yet.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part about it. Like I tell people all the time, those placards. If you see those placards, I mean that thing is, it's there were figures that we were like putting together the day of the show,
Hmm.
and I give them a lot of credit for the fact that they've been trying to do it where you'll have a figure revealed online and
Hmm.
then you'll be able to see it in person.
Hmm.
So it's cool because you got guys that are there at the con for multiple days.
Hmm.
And okay, you say you missed a digital render because you're at the con. You're not really
Yeah,
on your phone a lot.
yeah.
But say you missed it because of reception or something like that. I
Hmm.
think it's cool because it's almost like extra benefit to go to the booth and say, "Man, they just showed this online, and now they're showing it here."
Hmm. Proof
I
of
don't think
concept.
people, huh?
Proof of concept, and they did it with the Turtles when the Turtles was at Toy Fair, and they smacked everybody in the face like, oh, and the pre-orders are sold out. Oh, now
Yeah.
I hear the cries for it. Oh, we getting the red bandanas now. Not enough this, not enough. I'm like, don't justify it to yourself.
Well, after this, it's pretty much over, man. Like
Yeah,
for
after
most
this is
companies.
over, but at the same time, don't try to justify it in the sense of, I'm not saying you specifically, but the people, in the sense that, oh, they're just giving it to us because they're giving it to us. I'm like, no, this is your opportunity to get a chance to get the Turtles. Soft goods come and go. Look, I got soft goods from other items and IPs that I could
Yeah.
just put on the Turtles and have a good time. Don't stress yourself over that. The main thing is the Turtles. Turtles are turtles.
Yeah.
They're fun. and people are always parting out the soft goods. So, you know, get your hands on them. Get your
Yeah.
hands on them.
I'm happy I nabbed my sets because whenever this is over with, it's done, bro. And so then I don't know, I don't collect Mattel. I've never, so to have this version of the Turtles, that I mean, they're good for me, and I've covered everything. I covered cartoon, movie, and
Mhm.
then I've covered the comic, and so that stuff is fine with me. And then and when the soldiers come out, oh, this
Dude,
incentivized me for me incentive. Yeah, me incentivized me to get. I'm gonna get as many as I can because they're not gonna come back, and I don't know what company is
take
gonna
over.
be there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what company is going to take over after or whenever Mattel. Do you know when Mattel's losing the license again, or is it
Oh well. Playmates official transfer is in 2027, right?
right?
Mattel is getting the license, so
Yeah,
Mattel obtains the license. We don't know how long they're going to have it. Right now, they are the sole. They're going to be the sole holders of the master license.
yeah.
So
See, yeah, they're going to hold
that's the
that
whole
for a
thing.
while.
It's the sole holder of the master license. So whatever Mondo is doing to prolong that with their items that they're ready to go out with, I'm like, I'm ready, you know. But
Yeah,
when it comes to the foot soldiers, because I know we've seen two of them. We've seen with the splinter with the images in the back, and we also seen it in NYCC and this SDCC, the animated turtles. Dude, I am ready. I got 3 sets. Give me the army. I want my army.
yeah. I dude, like as soon as I found out they were doing again, this is just for me. I don't. I'm not concerned about what other people are doing, and whatever. For me, I am going to buy as many as I can because I don't. I want to have those soldiers, and I don't want to have to. You don't know where am I going to get soldiers. I don't want to backtrack and do another line because it won't be the same thing. It won't be cohesive.
It
But
won't be cohesive. Yeah, exactly. I
yeah,
get you. That's why I collected all the lines that I did when it comes to turtles. I try to get everybody that I can.
yeah,
Now with the 2012, it's done. They're done. NECA's done. So
yeah,
there's not going further. Do I want to get the Fortnite stuff? I'm not into Fortnite, so I
yeah,
can let that slide because you know what? That money that I would put so Fortnite could go into my first 2 sets of foot soldiers.
yeah. I don't see any comments. I don't know if everybody's just listening or if let me look at this. No, it's cool. Yeah, everybody's just in tune. So really quick, this right here, there was all these accessories that I saw at the show. Man, this layout doesn't do it justice because man, there was like paint and weather on these things, and then this bow looked different, but
Hmm.
this bow and arrow are functional.
Yeah, I
Like
would
I had
assume
a
so.
yeah, well, it's a little string and it pulls
Mhm.
back, and they have me take a picture of it, like where he is actually holding the
Drawing,
arrow. Yeah, he's drawing back and it's holding.
nice.
I
Nice.
had it. I think I can show stuff that's in the case, and that was in the case. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna probably show a picture of that. But he's it. I will tell you one thing, man. Don't lose that arrow. I dropped it at the con, and I was on my hands and knees, and it was before the show. I'm like, no, 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 no.
See,
But those little arrows, bro. It's like if you drop that thing, you're gonna need a magnifying glass and a light, man. Because
I hope Mezco gives us like at least 10 of them, 10 of those arrows. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
there's only three. Like
There's only
here,
3.
yeah. Yeah. There's three.
Put it in an accessory set because I love those accessory sets that Mezco does, and just put all the
Yeah,
weapons in there. Just give me tons of arrows, please,
yeah.
because I could
I
use those arrows for different displays. But
I heard this is 5 years extended, but the thing is, the guy in charge is Viacom licensing former Mattel VP. Oh, that's not good.
yeah,
Uh,
look at that.
Good to see some fellas who love Mezco as much as I'm beyond hype for this upcoming release. Yep, the
Yeah.
Splinter is going to be one of them. Agreed. But yeah, really quick. Um, so with this Splinter.
Mhm.
Like these accessories, dude, they're really cool, and they had this weathering and texturing to them. And this, remember how I was saying earlier, there were certain figures that I just, you would grab and mess around with, and you were like, whoa, this was one of them. It was this one. It was Gray Hulk. It was Green, Green Hulk, Incredible Hulk. There were a couple of other ones, but man, those are the ones that like really stuck out to me.
The
So I'm
monsters.
really,
The monsters.
dude, yeah, man. It was just there was some really good stuff. I think I'm trying to look at else. I didn't get to handle Nightcrawler that much, but the guys were doing that one. Shredder was another one because it
Ah,
was new in the
yeah.
Turtles. But yeah, let me. I know I'm rambling through this, but let me get through this really quick. So let's see here. So again, showing this really quick to you guys because just to get everybody kind of like prepared because this is Q3. Most of this stuff, the dates haven't changed. And then, like I was telling you before, with the tangent we got off on, like with New York,
Yep.
you have to take all of that in consideration too. So right now, for Q3, there's 11 figures that are set. Eight of them are kind of projected. They overlap into next year.
Hmm.
They're like this
Hmm.
December, February kind of thing.
Yeah.
But from Q3 to Q4, there's 22 figures in total for right now. Right, that's 22. And then again, you know how I was tying it into New York?
Hmm.
That's not counting however many exclusives they're going to do. So that's why I was asking you what you thought about New York. Do you think that they'll do more than two or three? Because that total definitively goes on what's going to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah. And like, dude, I think they're gonna do it again because one, just, that booth gets packed so fast.
Yeah.
It gets packed so fast. Like I went in there. It was the first booth that I went to. It was the first
Yeah.
booth I went to. Got my items. I was ready to go, and I came back. The line started growing. Started
Yeah,
growing.
man.
Started growing. And then I will go every day to say what's up to see how you guys are doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
know. See.
and every now and then you get a line about 5 to 10 people starting to line up to get a couple of items, and then it'll come in waves.
Yeah.
But that day one,
Yeah. It
ridiculous.
was mad. Yeah. It's good to hear like somebody else like talk about it too, because we talk about it on the show a lot, or I'll talk about it, but I also
It's
told
different.
people that line for that photo op was longer than
Oh
it
yes, for
needs
the
to grow.
Batman, for the
Yeah,
Batman photo op was crazy because the thing is this: there's
yeah,
there's fans of the animated series. There's fans
hmm
that whenever there's a statue or anything that's up, that's a prop in con, it's tradition to go and take a photo. When they
yes,
had what was it, Game of Thrones, and they had the dragon out, everybody got on the dragon.
yeah,
When Goku was out and they were doing the anniversary for Goku, you could fly on the Nimbus. I was on the Nimbus. That like just as the Monkey King, just perfect timing, perfect opportunity to be on the flying Nimbus and take a photo. They had Goku charging up. They had Godzilla, standing right there. Just have at the have fun, take photos. But that line for a freaking animated Batman, you wouldn't think that cartoon character that's done in a live
yeah.
action form was going to get a line for photo ops.
I tried to tell people, man, like, and we were just saying. I mean, I remember I took your picture and your family. Yeah, Playmates. Wait a minute, Playmates caused a lot of headaches for any licensor with vintage toy design. Also, Viacom wasn't happy with the output of figures anyone was doing, so they were looking for a major company to step up. Makes sense.
Yeah, that
And,
makes sense. But at the same time, it's like you could have handed it over to anybody else. And, you know, I know the direction that Nickelodeon and Viacom is going through with Turtles, where they want to go with when it comes to Turtles.
mhm.
And they're going more of the kiddie route. So they're bringing it back. They're taking it a step even further into the cutesiness. And it's not for our palate because, when we come up into Turtles, like I remember the 80s cartoon, but I also remember getting into the movie and the comics. That's around the time that I'm absorbing it.
Yeah,
So seeing that there's three different ways to absorb this from cartoon to movie and comic, I'm getting filled up, you know, and seeing that now they're dumbing it down to making it as simple as possible for kids to enjoy. I think they're just trying to refresh the brand again for younger viewers, because
Yeah.
younger viewers mean more toys.
Right. What is this? What's up with not sending Mezco out Letterman Throwback Edition yet?
That
All
that's
right,
an invite.
so I don't know how new you are to the brand, so don't take this
I'm
offensively.
joking.
But yeah, but usually when they say after the con, in the past, that time range has been between either 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
So they already started shipping out some of the exclusive from MezcoCon, including Gomez, Black and White Batman, and they just got done doing what you call it. They just started with Doc Knock Phantom Knight. So what you have to understand is they're still getting back from San Diego. They're actually still waiting for some of the stuff that came from San Diego to go back to their New York office. And plus,
Hmm.
your staff, a majority of the staff is over in San Diego
Hmm.
manning that event. So you got people flying there, working the event 7 days straight, you know, including travel, and then going back and then getting right back into it. So it takes a little bit of time. Usually, like I said, the average time is between either 4 to 6 or 6 to 8. I don't think it's going to take that long. But if you've gotten, what did it say? But usually you'll get the shipping notification, and then it usually falls in with the next week. But
Yeah.
trust me, right now this is not a wait for them. It's gone past that.
Hmm.
But just be patient. He's worth it.
I say this: patience is a virtue. You enjoy what you have now. Enjoy what you have now, because we talked about it earlier. You know, for the top 10 figures of the year, you
Yeah.
don't know what your top 10 if you always looking for the next best thing, the next best thing. You're not enjoying what you have now. It goes back to, you know, greed and gluttony. You know, we could get gluttonous with these items and become hoarders. You know,
Bro, I got back from the con. I haven't opened up my. I got Fluffy. I haven't opened up those. I haven't opened up my Jada stuff yet. I just, and I know not everybody collects in volume. Some people are only they're selectively collecting. But again, like we talked about in the beginning, like for me, I'm not pressed about getting a figure like right off the bat. I'm
mhm,
fine with waiting for whatever it is. I just opened up my Phantom Knights a couple of days ago,
mhm.
and so for me, I'm cool. But I know some people will pay for stuff they don't collect a lot of Mezco stuff and they want it now. But it's just trust me, it takes a while to do all this. Man, I'm telling you,
Dude,
bro. It's like,
I haven't opened up my animated Batman or Joker yet,
yeah. I
and there's
wish
a
people.
reason
I
for it.
wanted to record. I wanted to do footage of the booth setup and like just little things that you would do, but I was, you obviously got to get permission, but I don't think people really understand how much work goes into all that stuff, man. You're like drained, man.
Oh
You're
yeah,
drained.
definitely.
And I don't
Because
even work for them technically, and we were working. It's very draining. And so you gotta like if you're working before the con, you go to the con, and then you get back from the con, you're like, hey, work, 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 work. It's
there's no breaks in between, and when you do get a break, you realize there's still work to be done.
I specifically take a day or two off when I get back because it's that bad, man.
Oh yeah, I believe it, dude.
It's
I
it's
believe
it's
it.
it's just crazy, bro. It's like, uh, but you've been like, so we go to New York. I mean,
Yeah.
so a lot of people is like when you get there, we get there Monday and it's off the ground and running. You're setting stuff up on Monday. You're coordinating with people to get badge access, all that stuff.
Hmm.
Tuesday, you're setting up all day, setting up from like we were there like 7 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night.
Hmm.
You're setting up Wednesday night is preview night, so you're there automatically a little bit later, right? So you're
Hmm.
setting up during the day,
Yep.
and then preview night, you're remember you've already done 3 days already, and so you're there and you're doing preview night. Because I heard somebody say something like, "Oh man, they're not energetic and shit and all this." I'm like, man, you try working 10 hours a day, and then just say, "Hey, how you doing?" It doesn't, well, on that same day. But most of the time, like you see me, like
I've
you see
seen you,
me.
dude.
Right,
And
we're at the booth, and it's always like, we're always like, if you're cool and you come with a good vibe, we always talk to people. But like,
oh yeah,
it's very hard to keep that level of energy. But I'll do it. But you're there at 9 o'clock Wednesday, and then the rest of the days you're there. Like I get there at 7. We don't leave till like 6 or 7, right? And then
closing is 7 o'clock to get everybody off the showroom floor.
right, and then but then afterwards, like in San
Mhm.
Diego, it's a little bit different. But New York, but afterwards, everybody networks. So you're
Yep,
going
that's
on all these. We have the
the after
meetup.
dinner, the after
Yeah, bro, we
company
had to do the meetup and everything,
meetup.
and I love doing it. But like you're doing other people's meetups, you're networking, and so
Yeah,
you're up
yeah.
till
So
like
you're
12
pushing
or 2 in the
16-hour
morning,
days.
bro. It's
Yeah, you're
like,
pushing 16-hour days at that point, and then
yeah,
then you sleep like 3 hours just so you can eat breakfast to have energy for the next 16 hours.
I was on like sugar and like Alani Red Bull. It would be like
Oh
Alani Red Bull Monster. I'm like, you can't drink too many of these, man, like in a
no,
day, but in order just to keep everything going, because everybody, I don't have a problem with it. I'm not complaining with it. Everybody wants you to have a smile, and everybody wants this like personalized, exciting interaction. I'm not like that anyway.
uh,
Yeah, I don't have, hi, how you doing? It's not me.
listen,
It's fake.
I get you.
But you talk to me. I mean,
I know, and I seen when you was overly profusing, sweating, and
I'm hot.
exhausted, and hungry, and you
Yeah,
was getting a little hangry, and I felt so bad. I wanted to bring you some water. I wanted to bring you some stuff, man.
yeah,
And,
bro.
and this year I'm gonna come prepared. You know what I'm gonna bring for the guys? I'm gonna bring the 5 hour energy shots. Uh,
Oh yeah, I mean, well, I don't know, man. A couple on top of what we already here do, man. I think it's still good. Like I still always can have a conversation, man. No lights and that shit's so hot, bro, because you're
dude,
in
you
the
can't breathe.
booths and stuff, and you are sweating, and
You
and
can't
and then
breathe.
there's, huh?
You can't breathe. Basically, you can't breathe, especially if you're in one of the hotter spots because there's some spots that they're
Oh
doing popcorn, or they have these overly done lights that are so hot that you're surrounded by the lights that are already on top of you, plus their
yeah,
lights, and their lights are blinding you. You're like, come on,
yeah.
bro.
You got display lights. You got it's hot, bro, and I was sweating, and so, but even through all of that, I still like talking to people. I still like. And you try to like you do try to keep maintaining a high level of energy and excitement,
Mhm.
and you try to make it a good experience for everybody. I
Um,
But I'm telling you, before, man, it wasn't like that. You wouldn't have anybody at the booth like that did that kind of stuff. It was just people behind the booth, and they did their stuff, and they would answer questions. But we got really lucky to
mhm.
where, how we were talking about before, how you have people from the community working in the booth,
In
like
the booth.
in the displays,
Mhm.
and being that part of the community. But then also now you got people at the booth that are interacting with everybody from the community.
Mhm.
Before, no offense to that to them, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that since they had like Pierre and stuff,
No,
because they
no,
didn't have the manning to do it. Now
no.
you have people from the community doing it, and
And even then, their booth back then was literally a detail cabinet with just four figures.
yeah. I
Or
want to say
well,
thank you to this guy real quick. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you,
yeah, but
man.
it's grown a lot. It's grown a lot. So
Yeah, I think for the better, it'll only get better. But it takes time. Like they're a company that likes to make sure that everything is right and take their time with stuff. And so every year, they let us do more.
yeah, which is a
This,
blessing. Which is a blessing. And
yeah, man, it was, yeah,
and a lot of people
man.
got to take in consideration this too, that Mezco is not a grandiose company. It's like powered by what, 13, 20 people.
I,
You get
I,
what I'm saying?
I would say at the convention it's less than that.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in general. Like, you got the people who go overseas and you got the people who go over here,
Oh yeah, yeah. Numbers
so
wise, I don't. I wouldn't
you
say
out.
anyway, but like it is a small company, and
So like maybe if it was smaller than that, it was like 15 people working on it. That's still a small group of individuals. That's like
Yeah.
when Mythic Legions got their start.
Yeah. I think one
400.
of the good things about it is everybody works really hard. I'm not trying to like make excuses or say, oh, woe is me, but I don't that's why I wanted to record some of it so people got an idea of like how much work goes into it because it's different when you see it. But let me roll through this really quick. 'Cause,
I know I
so
can talk forever.
I know I can too. The guys can too. It, but I want to try to like keep it on because I was like, I don't want to have 3 hour show. I
Oh,
could
dude.
do it, but
I know. No.
especially with you, bro.
Take that
Like,
extra hour to rest, bro. It's okay.
yeah, and the guys too. The guys, they always. I feel bad sometimes because I'll ramble with them too. So I totally get it, man. But I appreciate you being on, man. It's a good
Oh,
conversation.
dude, yo, I saw you was solo. I was like, nah, man. Link me up whenever you're ready. You want just
It
throw me up.
works. It works better, you know, when you
Mhm.
have somebody and bounce
Yeah,
off
because
of.
it's you're feeding off not just the energy, but when you have questions and people who actually, you know, are understanding you and they trying to get to you, trying to get to the answer. Sometimes it doesn't come as natural on a messenger on a
Yeah.
comment section rather than a conversation because your reaction time thinking and your emotions are firing all in five cylinders and you're just getting a true reaction and conversation pieces everybody's listening in plus if we have different ideas or similar ideas you can see parallels and differentials within that conversation.
Yeah.
So, but
But
this
yeah,
is a
bro, and
beautiful
I
shot.
appreciate you all, man. This is good. I'm very glad that you came on. I'm glad that MC was able to get on here too. But Dr. Fate, so they put up Dr. Fate today for pre-order. Um, it's very interesting. They kind of gave a tease at first. They said they had a bunch of creators, and you can and they're. I made sure I clipped their names in here. If you get a chance, these are all Instagram photos. Make sure you go visit them on Instagram, support what they're doing because they were able to get these figures before people went up for before this went up for pre-order. And I think it's important to point that out because if you go support them, that means there's more opportunities for other people
Mm-hmm.
because they'll see that this is popular and they'll say, "Oh, okay, well, maybe we should do this with other content creators or sometimes other people that aren't well-known content creators." So I highly recommend just going and support these people and their pictures and stuff like that. That way, there's a good reception and people and Mezco can see, yeah, this is a good program to do, and maybe they can expand it or because I mean, there was a bunch. Did you see how many people got this thing? It was like
Oh, dude, I was
32.
watching it. I was like surprised. Like I woke up Mezco Monday. I was getting ready. I set up my shot because I did a collab with the Mess Head groups,
Yeah,
and big shout out to the Mess Head groups. You know, I love those guys. Those guys are those are my boys, bro. The
yeah,
seeing all the Dr. Fates, I was like, oh, I finally get my opportunity on a figure that I missed
yeah,
because
man.
I missed on it, and just like Gambit, I missed on Gambit.
Yeah,
But I wasn't missing this time. I made sure I, locked in, ready to go. That's all she
yeah,
wrote. So
yeah,
I'm happy. The shots are great and gorgeous, but also you get a different palette for how people do photography and what the figure has to offer. Because some people are like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. How do I want to display this? Oh, it comes with a lot of stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And you see someone
yeah,
who's outstanding out of the box, like, oh, that's nice. That's nice.
yeah,
And if you already have the original one, you can double dip a couple of times over because we all remember the movie with Black Adam. Dr.
yeah.
Fate makes himself into a bunch of different versions of himself right there. It's just like
Right. I
multiple man
think,
right there.
yeah. I think this is great, man, because like I said, they gave. I
My
mean,
God.
I counted five. I know there was more than five people,
Oh,
and so there. I counted more than five people that got this figure. So that's what I mean in terms of like supporting, these artists that got it because you want to have a successful program so they can see that maybe we can send this out to more people or different people. But it was a nice little preview of this figure, what you're getting. They did advertise that it was going up for pre-order August 5th. Some interesting facts about this really quick. So I know a lot of people are like, the issue of reissue always comes up. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But originally, this figure went up in November of 2021. I mean, 2020. So this figure is almost 6 years old. That's since the first time we got it. It did come out in April of 2021. And if you notice that, it only took what, a couple of months,
Like,
November, December, January, February, March, April, 5 months for this figure from pre-order to time of delivery to come out. So I
mm-hmm,
thought that was important too, because everybody talks about how these figures take 3 years. There's one that's 5. So
mm-hmm,
quick turnaround time. Price point for this originally was $95.
mm-hmm,
Today it went up for 112. Looks like they went back to that.
mm-hmm,
So not too much of a price difference. If you really digging down into it, the 112 price, I know a lot of people, because of the economy, these figures are going up a little bit. They kind of tapered it down because they're usually like 116, 120-ish.
mm-hmm.
But if you go for the comps, like in real estate, but if you're going for what it goes on the aftermarket, I think the average price was between like 150 and 190.
150, 190, almost 210, depending on who you buy it from. Plus, you
Right.
shipping, tax, and tariff if they still doing the tariff stuff at that time of purchase.
Good point. And then most of those ones that you mentioned, there are two, those are all directly from China.
Mm-hmm.
The local ones, those are 150, 190. And then the incomplete and parted out ones, they range were like 70 to 150. So this 112 price point, it's a nice little sweet spot. It gives you an opportunity, like you said, if you missed out on it. Um, we can go through it, but I mean, you said you missed out on this, but what are your thoughts on it?
Dude, when I saw the reviews on it, the beautiful art box that it came in, because I think it was one of the first boxes that were the smaller boxes, like
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2099, where the comic book art was on the box and you can like see it. It was very portable. It was small. It's like, oh, I could fit this in my backpack and go, the rest of the convention if I was to pick it up at the convention and be cool with it. And if I remember correctly, they sold this at the convention too at SDCC when it was out. So I didn't go obviously because I'm here in New York, but I did travel. But now that I have the opportunity to grab this, I'm happy I can add a little bit more flavor to my DC shelf, and something that I can do if I wanted to do a team up. Magic, characters, Atticus Dune, Doctor Strange, and Bartholomew Vex, like throw these are characters that I could just put on my shelf and have some fun with. You know what I mean?
yeah. So I was reading what he said. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I like this figure a lot. I did. Can I do this real quick? I don't plug
Yeah.
myself that much, but
Yeah. Go ahead, plug yourself.
I want to show this really quick, man, because this is one of those figures that we were talking about earlier, where hold on a second. That's you. How do it's mine? I home. I'm trying to figure out how to get to my own profile. I don't do it from PC that much. But yeah, this is one of the older figures that I dug out one day. It was like, oh yeah, let me do a throwback on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And man, I'm telling you, this thing, it was so cool. Like I said, because it was 2020, right? But
Yeah.
it had so many details. I'm trying to lead up to it, but not spoil it. But give me just a second. But I like this figure a lot. Somebody did ask, and with these reissues, I don't think that they're going to be putting them on new bodies. Like we said before, I think it's just going to be minor deco changes, if at all, and then possibly you might see a new box, something a little bit more compact. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't like. I know a lot of people think because they're older or because of the higher price point that you're going to get this on a brand new body or a brand new lighting system for the housing, like they're doing now with Spider-Man and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't think that's going to happen. So I would definitely kind of taper, the expectations for that. But this thing here, let me do this really quick. I think I stalled long enough. This thing to me was cool because of the amount of details that it had. It's one of those things we were talking about earlier, how I said, yeah, people will say, I don't know why it costs so much money, you know?
Yeah, it's that.
do this thing, like for me, it just, how do I do this? Nope, not
But
it.
if you if you go back to the image,
Yeah.
all the way in the corner, yeah, you go.
So yeah, thank you. So this had like the scope work and everything on this is cool. These are the actual pages in the
Mm-hmm.
book, and each one of these there's some duplicates, but for the most part, each one of these pages has, and like to see something like this, you know how usually like a company will just put a book together, it's sealed together, but it's a
Yep.
book where it's
Yep.
open
It's
with some printed pages.
yep.
These pages, they're each individual. Dang it, page. Each one of these pages was individually printed pages,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so that blew me away. That's like the texture inside the page.
Oh
So I was
man.
doing macro shit on it.
That's but see that's details. That's the details we normally don't see. And with the naked eye, you really can't see that unless you're going super in. And look at that texture. If I remember correctly, this specific style of suit is just like the best to wear for any
It's
occasion. Any
it,
occasion.
it is cool because I don't know, and I show this picture because it's very interesting. I don't know if I can enlarge it. So you see how that how the soft good that's zoomed in like really hard. I've
Mm-hmm.
only been able to do this a couple times with certain figures
Yep.
because you have to have lighting right. You have to be extremely still, but you can do it on a macro lens, right? So you this right here is the soft good threads that you see, right?
Yep.
Underneath that, it's like this rubbery kind of material.
Well, that and it's because it's a four-way stretch material.
Yeah. So, but do you see how like this, like
Uh-huh.
it allows for more like pliability. You can keep it stuff, but you can
Mm-hmm.
still keep that because it's overlay. You don't see that though when you're like completely like one to one on it, because all you'll see is this.
Bingo.
But it's
Exactly.
man, it's just insane the
Just to
engineering that goes into it.
dude, the head sculpt is fire.
Yeah, and
Heck,
again, I know this is not for everybody. I know that people are like, oh, I don't like the housing, the
mhm.
lighting system that they use because you can't look up and down. Uh,
It's a,
I
it's a, it is what it is. That's
yeah,
the, it is what it is. You can say the same thing about Ghost Rider, same thing about Cyclops. You get a little nudge. The same thing with Cable because they
yeah,
all run in the same system. Listen, the gimmick is light up feature. Let it light up. Let it look cool. It's not gonna look cool in flight poses. You want a Mafex figure to do that? You go ahead right ahead. But Mezco, they're gonna give you it's miniature Hot Toys to me. That's what
yeah,
Mezco is to me. It's miniature Hot Toys. It's taking comic book or lifelike and trying to put it on your shelf in your hand as close as possibly can.
yeah.
So,
I think the one thing that I take into consideration with this is that what you call it, the the lighting system, like I said before, this is
mhm.
from like 2020 2021. So it's
Yep.
not like the stuff that we've gotten before. Would have been cool if and maybe this can happen, but it would have been cool if they updated maybe the head part. I don't know because you also have the chest piece that's there too. And so
Yep.
all that's like one system because it goes from the chest and then that lighting goes up to that one peg. So it's
Yeah.
it's what is it? It's like a but it's definitely a reissue. And that was the last part of the conversation I wanted to like chat about was
Yeah.
so with the recent rise of reissues,
hmm
do you feel like this is kind of like watered down the aftermarket or kind of like balanced things out?
I think it balanced things out because you got to think about it like this. What is the use of having a IP that you cannot capitalize on if
Yeah,
you set your base to build the fandom that you have for your specific toy line, right? And you want people to come to you. This is what you're showing off. This is what you're selling. This is your take on the
yeah,
particular IP. People like it. They get it. They show it to their friends. Unfortunately, they can't get it. Okay, a couple of years down the line, they may have gotten it, paid an arm and a leg for it, whatever the case may be, and
yeah,
maybe an arm and a leg came off due to rough play. Now they have an opportunity to get it, or someone else just couldn't afford to buy that, $200 figure and couldn't justify $200 for this figure. But
Right.
now they have an opportunity to get it and do the pay in full method and take their time to get an item that they wanted 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So to me, watering down Hasbro's watered down their collection a lot. And I say that because they use the same molds and the same character over and over again as the test subject, which is Spider-Man.
Oh no, I mean, do you feel like when companies do like these second or third runs of these figures, that's actually like watering down the aftermarket for like people who do that, who run that kind of game? Or like,
Well,
is it balancing it out? Maybe
it
balancing it
depends
out
on
would be
how
a
many
better word.
times they do it. That's the thing. It
Right.
depends on how many times they reissue it. See, with, like I said, Hasbro reissues Spider-Man, constantly. They say,
Yeah.
"Oh no, we got a new updated body," which is the body we got with this individual. Before it was the pizza buck, it was this buck.
Yeah.
Before that buck, it was this buck. You know, when it's Mezco don't do it often, and when
Yeah.
they do, it's key characters that actually, left a mark, or if it was very cool, or is it extremely popular, and it wasn't a limited item. It was more of an item that kind of fell by the wayside because people weren't ready for it. And then
Yeah.
when it came, now they're ready for it, i.e. Turtles. They did it
Yeah.
again, you know, what was it? Friday the 13th. They did it again. Freddy
Mhm.
Krueger. They did it again. You know, and it's just it makes space for people who want to get into the IP that don't want to pay an arm and a leg to the scalpers to have them do their stuff. But for other companies, if it keeps the people coming in and buying from them directly, that's
Mhm.
good business, right?
Yeah.
Aftermarket stuff, that's for people like that want to have something of value. You want value, buy into stocks, don't buy into toys. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Yeah.
that's
Advertising number
that's number
one.
one. This is a hobby. People think that you could get rich on a hobby. Listen, just because I have a hot toy that is right now going for over $1,000, I could sell it and make some money. But $1,000 is nothing in this not day and age. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
when it comes to down to it, my bills are like, what I'm saying. So it's like
Yeah, that's a
depending
good
on
point too. I think there's people that are collecting that are different financial structures. Like some people make more money, some people make less money, some people, have more disposable income than other
Mhm.
people do. I don't think a lot of people take that into consideration.
Yeah, that, and then you have some collectors, which is a very rare item, is more rarer than the rarest figure, and they're in the community. They're people who have a window of space. They are dedicated to this one small window of space. If they exceed this window of space, they sell everything and they start over.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people doing that lately. Like even if they miss a drop or something. But
Yeah, but not
let
so much missing
me.
the drop, but just more of like they have it for a short period of time, they enjoyed it, and then they sell
Yeah,
it off, and then they get something new.
yeah. I just and this is a good point too. 'Cause I just got in Transformers. And so I was playing catch up but I'm only doing the movie stuff. And
Okay.
there's two figures, like there's Springer and
Mm-hmm.
there's Slag or Slug, however you want to call his name. I I personally I've spent money on Mezco figures. I won't pay the aftermarket for those two Transformers because I'm hoping one that they're gonna reissue them. And two, I'm just like, you know what? I just don't feel like paying for it. I don't bitch about it online. I don't complain on message boards or or curse the company that's making it. I just know that that's a hard stance for me and I'll just wait till it comes out. But I don't think a lot of people are wired like that. They're just like, I should be able to have it whenever I want, at what price I want.
Capitalism. That's
Yeah.
it. Capitalism. But I do what I want with my money. And if I choose to hold it like you, we're gonna be good. Why? Because the next best thing that's coming in is gonna come in. And you know what? If your IP doesn't go through revisions and 2.0s or anything like that, your company's not gonna survive that much because how long can you keep going on to an IP before an IP is dead, i.e. NECA and TMNT? Because, if they could, they'll give us rainbow colored TMNT figures. You know what I mean? They'll push the envelope.
Yeah.
They'll push it. But they already had reached their end, in my belief, with their 80s animation stuff, right? They already have their tail end of stuff. They were just waiting to wait for it.
Yeah. I made a comment in one of the rare times that I'll comment, like in another group, but
Mhm.
I made a comment in one of the NECA groups, and I said everybody bash this line because I'm an outsider, but I
Mhm.
see how bad people talk about it. I'm like, everybody bash this line, and I'm telling you, people are gonna be they're gonna miss this line when it's gone. When NECA
Yeah.
doesn't do it, I don't care what anybody says. When you have like other companies giving you a variety or options, that's always a good thing. There's nothing bad. That's why I don't understand this whole competition thing.
Well, see, there's healthy competition, and then there's real competition.
Yeah,
When it comes to making toys, there's no such thing as real competition. The
yeah.
real competition is not them. The real competition is us. They're after our wallet, our money. We
Yeah,
have to decisively decide who gets it,
yeah.
and that's it. It's
Uh, yeah. I wanted to go to this comment because
Superman.
so is it Superman's head lights up and it doesn't have those issues like Cyclops and Ghost Rider and Doctor Fate? So really
Different.
quick, you're talking about two different lighting systems. The ones that are on the Cyclops and the Ghost Rider and the Doctor Fate, those are along the same lines, but they're similar. The
Yeah.
one that Superman has, that's different. If you would have said Batman, Batman versus Superman, the armored, the armored version of that Batman, you remember that one?
Yeah, I have it. It's the fully armored Batman that fights for BVS. It's
Yeah,
BVS.
yeah. So he has a lighting system where it's on a separate
Directly into
peg
the
and
head.
you can rule around. But these other, they're all the same design, so they're all gonna have that. Superman actually came after that, so
Hmm.
it's a design upgrade. So
It's
it's not, those all were stuck within that design feature. There's other ones that do it too,
yeah,
like
you got.
Cable,
Hmm.
Krieg. They all have that same lighting feature. But Superman, if you're talking about the Man of Steel one,
The steel box, the steel tin one. That
exactly.
one. That's the one
That
that
one's
has that
later,
gimmick.
and that's a
Same.
different design. So it's not going to be the same
If
design.
I'm correct, it's the first one with that new design technology for the ball joint being in the neck that has a separate neck peg that isn't a straight peg.
Yeah, I'm
And,
trying to. What
and the
was
thing
the
is
other one?
this: the other one was Human Torch and Spider Man.
There
They
was no. There's a Dark Side. Dark Side had a ball peg too, but his
Yeah,
the lights
yeah,
for
but
that
he
one
had a
was
faceplate.
very. Yeah, but it has that system that's only in the head, but you can still move the head
Yeah, but
around.
he's big though. Like I think that's an
Polystone.
exception to he's pretty big
Yeah,
and polystone. But for like figures that have the same head, circumference, you're talking about Human Torch, Spider Man. By all intents and purposes, for all intents and purposes, we've seen even Gomez and Theodore Stockcutter with
mhm,
that new system of having it in the ball joint system, and they just put
yeah,
the heads on. It's cool, but this is an older figure and it's a reissue figure, so this is going to go back to the old technology. If you're asking them to update it, that's a whole nother R&D system for a figure that's already pre-existing that they just giving people an opportunity to get. If you
yeah.
want more improvements and stuff like that, you can voice your opinion, but that doesn't mean it's going to get made.
Well, then also this the cost. Like he says that I don't own movie figures. How would that Superman be different than the Cyclops? Maybe I'm just catching up, but it's like I said before, it was a different design that they blocked all of those figures in. That Krieg, Cyclops, Cable, all of them, and all of them that had that double light up feature was in the chest and in the eyes. So you
Yeah,
have that block. That Superman, that other one, the Batman, that was before that, but it was different technology earlier on. Later on, you have that Superman, the one that you're talking about. That's after
after
they did
all of
all
that.
these other ones. So
Mhm.
when you're trying to like, it's almost like you would be like retrofitting that system to an older figure. So you would have to tear it up, redesign it, because you have Superman's eyes. What are you going to do to light up that feature that's in his chest? Because
Yeah,
you're ripping it up already.
exactly.
So that's the reason why. And then if you do want them to do that, then that means you're going to have to redesign everything, and that's going to cost more money. So that 112 that you would be spending now, you would be spending more money. And so where does that take you when the original was $95 and now you've upped the price on it? Unless you
Yeah.
advertise, hey, this is a brand new lighting system and stuff like that. I don't think it would still work because people are going to go, well, it doesn't matter. It was 95 before. Why are you charging me more? That's
Yeah,
just how I see it. Because
yeah, that's pretty much the point that that people are gonna make. But
well, you have people now, like even if you have a new figure and it's already blown past 112 or 120, people are already talking about the price point on something.
well, yeah,
And
that's because people want to stay within that budget. But I'm gonna tell you this: I remember when candy bars were 50 cents when I was younger. My father said, "Oh,
yeah.
I remember you used to get a big brown bag of candy for 50 cents." I'm like,
My
what?
cable bill, my cable bill, I keep track of all this stuff. My cable bill 3 months ago was 110. Last month it was 120. This month it's 130. And I'm sitting there thinking, what happened? It's everything, man. It's just prices are going up for everything.
It's that
I,
Cinemax, bro. It's that Cinemax.
I cut a lot of that stuff out. I'm like, I don't. It's almost getting to the point like we talked about physical media earlier. It's almost point like I'll just rewatch the stuff I have because
Yeah.
it doesn't really make any sense to to be able to have to pay for a bunch of like stuff that sometimes I'm not even here to be able to watch.
Oh, watch. They did that, and you know what's one thing that they haven't. They try to touch, but they haven't touched, and they won't touch because there's something about it that just makes it. It just needs to be, and that is the books. We got Kindles and stuff like that. You can get your digital books, but you need to have something in your hand. Like,
Mhm.
oh, guys, turn to page. Da, 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 da. It's
Yeah.
and they've proven this.
I
Having
I
something
don't know
physical.
if this is a question, like if this is an honest question, or well, how is that different than a red outfit rebuying it again because now it's black? That's soft goods compared to electronics.
See, yeah,
It's two totally
you're
different
talking
things, man.
about simplicity in dyes versus the complexity of wiring and redesigning a
Right.
body.
Yeah. I don't I don't want older figures. I want 2.0. Yeah. I think
Okay.
everybody wants an updated version. And the thing is if you want that, that's brand new technology. That's brand new
Mhm,
design, tooling, molding, all of that stuff is going to be brand new. So you have to pay for that. And in order to pay for that right now,
mhm.
because of materials and pricing, you're going to have to raise the price because that cost is going to get passed off onto somebody. And 9 times out of 10, it's the consumer. So if you want new features, new sculpts, you're going to be paying whatever the current market
And,
price is
and,
for that.
and to be fair, that most of the Wolverine,
Hmm.
most of it wasn't new. Some of it was still reused. Is not all of it, but some of
Yeah,
it was
their
still reused.
body. They were
Yeah.
using those bodies from like was it Old Man Wolverine
Oh,
and
yeah,
also
all the Wolverine was the
Logan.
same body. All the Wolverine was
Yeah,
of the same body.
yeah.
The only thing is minor difference was like the biceps, forearms,
Head
the
sculpts
scopes, and
and the
the
bone claws and all those stuff, those claws and
yes,
stuff.
yes,
Yeah,
the add-ons, but the core body, like the upper portion, the abdomen, and the
yeah,
thighs, that's pretty much the same. You got smaller boots. Yeah, he looks a little shorter, but I have all those figures. I put them together. He's this much different.
yeah.
This much different with
I
Superman.
gotta mess around with mine modded.
Yeah.
Let's do this as a last question, really
Oh
quick.
yeah, go ahead.
Um, so with with reissues, would you say that it benefits the company, the collectors, or both?
Both. Here's why. One, when it comes to collecting, one
Hmm.
hand washes the other, and one hand wash both hands wash the face. So you
Right.
can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want, people to get what they want, you're gonna have to remake it, right? Or put it up again for order if you have the existing molds,
Right.
right? And people who want it are gonna put the money up for it and buy it. It's for the collectors who missed out and wanted it. The company's just responding to all those cries. Okay, can we get a reissue on Dr. Fate, this, that, and the third? And being a small company like Mezco, you listen to that. All right, but we got all these other things we want to do for the future. So you want to check all those boxes, and then maybe you can revisit and come back again to honor those, requests. And I think that's what they're doing specifically for here. But it's always for both parties. It's always a good thing for both parties. When companies do it, it's to get more money in their pocket for those who missed out, and for those who missed out is an opportunity for them to buy. It's the same thing when they push out Snake Eyes, when they push out Spider-Man, when they push out Turtles. Playmates, masterful, always putting out old versions of the Playmates toys.
Yeah.
And magically they disappear.
Yeah. So
they're not going into no Funko burial site. Somebody's collecting them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's so much to that, man. Like, I remember when he was on and he told me, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, and he was saying it on the Hangout. He's like, those molds, that's just the molds. That's not like the tooling and everything else you got to do before it, But the molds, they cost 6 figures.
mm-hmm.
And so that's the reason why uh, companies are going to reuse body molds, because you're more than likely you're not finished paying.
that
Even with run round of figures, you're not
that
finished paying
one.
for the mold. So I know a lot of people like to run credit and have negative credit, but obviously for a business, you want to be operating in the black. You're not trying to operate in the red.
Yep.
That's like just playing get behind. And then the caveat to that is, not only you trying to make profit to be able to pay your employees, to be able to uh, get better materials, better plastics, expand your line and stuff like that, but
Mm-hmm.
you're also trying to maintain and acquire new licenses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always confused when people say they don't want a company to make money; they just want to like break even. If you did that, your line is going to be stale and it's never going to go anywhere.
You want them to
It,
break even. That makes no sense. That's like somebody who has a 3D printer and a file, and he's
right.
spending all the money on the filament just to make money on the filament.
Yeah. And this answers a lot of questions that I keep seeing this person keep asking. You can have an older body, pay for your mold, and then you can still use that body to make profit. And I think what you're not understanding is that if you do make upgrades, or if you do decide to do some kind of 2.0, or you do decide to revamp and do a completely new body. I don't think that you're understanding that if you do that, that's a separate project. And so now you have to restart and spend all that money again. So you're paying another 6 figures for that mold. You're paying another, uh, you know, whatever it is for the tooling, soft goods, because now you have this new body that you want. The old stuff is not going to fit on the new stuff. You have to redesign, redevelop everything. And then if you're talking about licensed characters, you're also going to have to renegotiate that deal with the IP.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not the IP, the
The
licensor,
license
to try
holder.
to the license holder, to figure out what the splits are going to be, what their requirements are for the figure prototype approval, then also how many units they want you to put out. There's a whole bunch of stuff that
Mhm.
people I don't think understand, comprehend, and know.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to say, yeah, just put some upgrades on it. But then again, the question would be to you, okay, you're doing that. Who absorbs the cost?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's
That,
gonna
that's
be it's gonna be you.
Yeah. Exactly. And to bring it to a hangout that you did a while ago, talking about molds and stuff like that. Donnie, I'll give him an example. Donnie, because he's right in front of me. Donnie, this whole book right here
Yeah.
is one specific press mold, right? Like the shells are press mold, all this is press molds and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
but it's in one single file that goes to one IP. This is this character. This is this way to construct this character. This is basically like for those who are into Gundam building and Gunpla, this is your OG Gundam, right? You're not gonna mess with the spools or anything like that because this is how it is to assemble it. When you do add-ons or you try to change what exists, those when you get those trees, those parts are still there. They just added everything else to what's existing. So that's more money. That's more R&D. That's more going into the figure. Granted, if Bandai kept it the same price, they kept it the same price, but they probably have some type of event happening. So you're paying already extra to get
Yeah.
that specific item. But when it comes to building something, you know, from scratch, and you're like, okay, I'm going to give like Conan. Conan got double joints on the elbows. That's that extra item that they had to do. Same thing with the boost. That's that extra item that they had to throw in there. So what does that do? That takes what was existing and puts it into a new bracket and makes it a completely new figure, which has its own funding, its own budget, its own license, its own whatever it is that it needs to have in order to get to the masses. It's not simple. It's very complicated.
Yeah, and this is just stuff that I've learned not just from them, but other companies as well. It's not, and you don't have to take my word for it. You're like, oh, yeah, you're just making excuses for them. I tell people all the time, you don't have to listen to me. You can get on and watch Bobby Valor talk about this
Yep.
shit all day and all night.
Yep.
Valor will talk about it. Ace will talk about it.
Yep.
Rob, that's a brand new company.
Mm-hmm.
Not brand new, but you know what I mean. They're starting to get
They're
their,
getting their feet wet. They're getting their feet wet.
exactly, but that you're also getting a new perspective from him because they're going through all that stuff. I know he has experience. I'm talking about the line in general, right? It's still
Yeah.
within what 4 or 5
It's
years,
it's still in its adolescent stage. It's
right?
it's
So
not in its
you,
infancy. It's in its adolescent stage. So it's building its legs to walk on and stand upright, and then
mhm,
take a walk. Once it's walking, it's gonna run on its own, depending on how many people back it up
yeah,
and give their constructive criticism. Let me say that one more time.
yeah,
Constructive criticism.
yeah,
Everybody knows this class. Constructive criticism. That means
yeah,
we don't tear down what we just established.
yeah. But you can take each one of those. You can take each one of those companies and those independent. I mean, you could even look at some of the successes and some of the I don't want to say failures. I want to say just whatever that person went through with Kickstarters. We've seen a lot of
Hurdles.
those projects. This shit is not easy. I think people think that you say you're going to make a toy, you grab some 3D print designs, and then you just market it. It's way more complicated than that. And if you want a complete picture, you're like, oh, page, you're full of bullshit. Go ahead and go listen to Rob, go listen to Ace, go ahead and Vala. You can even listen to some of the guys from Hasbro talk about it. It's all the same story. Nobody's in this like this conspiracy to put out the same information. It's a very difficult process. It's
Mhm,
very expensive. And I hate to always end it like this. I'm like, if people think that they know better than what these businesses are doing, they can run it, then you should try to do it yourself.
mhm,
I mean, just try it
mhm,
because we've seen some people in our own community that have tried it and have not been successful.
mhm.
It's not easy. It's way more in depth. It's way more financially uh, involved than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
So it's easy to sit there and say, "Oh, make more product." Okay, what happens when you lose on that product? What happens when it just sits on the shelf? Now
Diminish
you're in the red.
returns.
Yeah, now you're in the red.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
Yep. Then you file for bankruptcy and you close shop.
Yeah, I
That,
don't want that. I would much rather a company narrow down their margins and do pre-orders, and then people are like, "Well, I don't like being on the wait list," or people say, "I don't like pre-order system." I would much rather them narrow down the numbers, get
mhm.
it right, and then revisit it with stuff like this.
Yep.
Would I buy something like this? Like if I bought one, you know what I mean? But
Mhm,
do I want figures on older bodies? No, I would much rather have them on newer bodies. But
mhm,
I know understand that there's steps to get to that.
mhm.
And I don't want to pay extra money for something that's already been established. You know, it's a good
And
figure.
yeah, and I would say I'll agree with you on that. I would want an update, but the problem is this: is that when it's a reissue, you know exactly what you're getting. You can want all you want, but at the time it was okay for you to purchase it then. And it's not okay now because of the technology that we have now. I'm like, when it comes to stuff like that for people who have that thought process, even when I have that thought process, I start to think about how much R&D goes into developing it. And I'm like, you know what? Right now, I should have an Iron Man that should be hovering on my table that isn't a bobblehead, but that looks like
Yeah,
a legit Iron Man floating. I should have my DeLorean doing the same thing. I
I
should have
know.
Batwing doing the same thing, just hovering wherever I tell it to hover. We have the
Hmm.
technology for it, right? But is it really feasible? Does it really make a difference? No, because let's be honest. The complaints just have to end, right? And we just have to remember this. We're collecting not for each other, and we're not collecting for our spouses. We're not collecting for no one else but the inner child in us when we were younger. When we were younger, we want to impress us. That's what we're doing. We're impressing ourselves. We're impressing that 8-year-old boy that remembers watching this and like, oh, I want that whole set that I saw just now on TV. Like,
Yeah,
did you see that? They got the turtle van. They got
yeah,
the sewer layer. Oh, the techno drum is fire. That's the kid
mhm.
that we're trying to impress.
Yeah. This is like I like points like this because they're more they're more fact based. You know,
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
like compared to working. So this like obviously talks about like different companies and then also like the cost, like the warehouse cost. You talked about something like how companies also try to like with all this tariffs are a lot of things that even though they've been reversed and put back on, a
Hmm.
lot of people don't take into consideration too. And if you have these big companies that are bringing in these huge amounts of inventory that are getting tariffed, you know,
Hmm.
on whatever the amount is,
Hmm.
like people don't understand that sometimes that they're playing these waiting games with that too and putting them
Yep.
on US soils and putting them in these warehouses and stock houses and wait until the tariff either like go down
Hmm.
or at an acceptable rate for them to be able to bring it in and actually, import it in,
Hmm. Yep.
instead of paying that whatever that fluctuating tariff price is.
Hmm. And
There are so many things like, and I don't know everything. This is just from research. This is from talking to different companies. But there's so many things like the average person does not take into consideration. It's very
hmm.
easy to say, "Hey, just do this," but then when you tell them, "Hey, okay, well, if you're gonna do this or you're gonna put a new body," and people are already giving you feedback that the line is already too expensive already,
Hmm.
where do you think your customer base is going to be when you raise the price even more for a brand new mold?
Hmm.
What are you going to do
Yep.
then? It's a
Exactly.
balance, man. It's a business. You got to.
Exactly.
It's just like your checking
Checkbook.
account.
It's like your
Yeah, it's
checkbook.
what you got. Okay, I get paid this amount of money. I'm going to be spending rent, car, all of these things. I only have this much disposable income to be able to do other stuff. How am I going to make that last, or how am I going to even make it grow?
Hmm.
And that's how most people get in trouble because you're not using your money to make it grow. You're using it for other things like toys, disposable income, and then you don't have anything. So if you keep doing that as a business, you're always going to be negative. You know,
Yeah.
you got to make money.
Mhm. And you also got to remember this: a lot of these smaller companies, um, are making figures, making toys because they want the toys themselves. They want it themselves. They,
Yeah.
low key are collecting themselves or out in the open collect themselves. I know Howard Chan, Hot Toys, he collects his own shit. You know what I mean? That's his.
Yeah.
He wants his stuff to flourish, but he also wants that dollar. So if he has the perfect Spider-Man, he's gonna have the perfect Spider-Man. He wants that beautiful lightsaber wielding Jedi, Anakin. He wants it on his shelf, but he's
Yeah.
gonna do it. He has the research and development, the backing from Disney. He knows what he can do with it, and he does it at a high end collector's budget because the budget varies. Because artisan is $400 to $500.
Mm-hmm.
That's rooted hair. That's what artisan is. It's just rooted hair on a figure, right?
How
Like,
much is that to do?
huh?
How much is that to do?
The,
Like the rooted
just
hair.
just to do the rooted hair, like legitimately, they don't tell us. But when we do an estimate comparing the prices between a plastic version versus a rooted version, it's like $125 difference between that plus there's a not a number but a set amount that's supposed to be sold, which is like 2,000 or 250, right? Like that's their margin. That's crazy because some people are like, oh, I need to get that version. Oh, I'm gonna go with the sculpted version. Like people play tit for tat now because people don't know what side of the fence they want to be on. Some of them pick
Yeah.
both. Some of them pick both. So
I was messing
at
with
the
D.
point,
What's up, D? D's back.
what up? You back? You didn't take a nap? I'm taking a nap. Okay. Okay.
I'm
You're
surprised
still
you didn't
up.
take a nap. You've been up. Root hair is based on the labor.
But root pay
And
based on the labor. So, but when you look at the pricing is based on like $125 difference, right? So, and that's Hot Toys. It's different.
it's based on time and labor. He said
Time
a
and
hair
labor.
braid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
also stylizing.
I am thankful, man. I'm thankful that I'm in a position where I'm able to buy any, not any, but you know what I mean. I have disposable income to buy things that I like, so I don't try to like let it ruin. I think like conversations like this are important, you
Oh,
know, because it gives people education and information that they can use. That sometimes you're just not going to be able to get through to people, no matter how hard you explain it. So
everybody
there's
has the time to see the light, and sometimes it's at the very last second. And you know what? It is what it is because everyone's going to get shaped and molded into the person that they're going to be. And if they stuck the way they are, then they're stuck the way they are. You can't reach
yeah.
everybody. You can't reach everybody.
Oh no, I don't try.
Oh no, no, I know you
I
don't.
think most I've told D this and I've told the guys this before. Most of the time, like if I'm online and there's a guy that's saying something like there's someone that's just saying something that doesn't make sense. Like they'll say something like, "Oh, pre-orders don't make sense. They should do it like this." And then you ask them a question. You say, "Okay, well, how do you handle it?" They don't have an answer,
Of course
right?
they will.
That's how you usually know somebody doesn't know what they're talking about.
Or
But
they're
then when
just
you
trolling just to troll because they ain't got nothing better to do with their life.
Well, some people maybe they don't understand, or maybe they want to learn about the process, and there's some like
That's it.
resistance. You want to hear it, but the thing is that when you talk to somebody, you try to explain it to them, and it's just constant resistance. It's not. It's more of a debate. It's not a discussion.
Mhm.
But a lot of times, I've talked to D about this too. Like most of the time, somebody are like, "Well, why do you engage with somebody like that?" I mean, well, the thing is that I tell them all the time. I'm like, most of the time, I'm not really engaging with that person. There's other people that are going to be reading all these responses, right?
It's the community. It goes back to
Exactly.
community. It goes
Exactly.
back.
I already know. I can tell in the first like two or three comments if somebody's open to have a discussion, because they'll say, "Oh, really? I didn't know that. Can you explain that more, or can you do this or something like that?" There's like when somebody wants to understand something, there's like very little resistance,
Oh yeah,
and mostly the biggest tell of when somebody says, and it can go both ways. But when somebody says, "Oh, really? Can you show me where you found that? Where's that information at so I can look it up?" That is the huge for both sides. Like if
yeah.
I ask somebody, it's almost like a gotcha for somebody. Like if you said to me,
Hmm.
they only made two Mezco Batmans, and I
Hmm.
said, "Oh, really? Can you show me where that is?"
Hmm.
And
Exactly.
then yeah, and it's the
Aha.
same way it's the same the other way too, because if you
Hmm.
ask me and you say, "Can you show me where that is?" I say, "Oh yeah, sure. I can pull up some resources. I'll pull up the websites for you. I'll send them to you right now."
Hmm.
That's when you know somebody's like talking. And when somebody wants to learn something and they're open to it. Like usually you'll see most people online, they're just it's not a discussion, it's a debate. It's not to understand something. It's just to like create chaos. They don't want to know anything about
Hmm.
it.
But see, that's the beautiful part of the debate, though. It's a double-edged sword. Whoever's on the opposite end of that's wrong is going to get cut.
And I know like when I'm talking, like I said, I'm talking to somebody, I'll know in the first three comments. Usually one or two if they want to know something. But what's good about it is because other people are going to read that and they may not know some of those things. And you know what? The thing is about them is they'll go, I think Page is full of bullshit. Let me go check on this and see, and they'll go look it up themselves. And that's encouraging too, because you're not just taking my word for it. You're actually looking yourself and then you're finding the information and then you're making your own decision about it.
Yeah, and what people got to be careful about is not go to certain areas for echo chambers, because you're gonna hear more what you believe because you want to be right. I'm like, look for truth, not to be right. Like, if you're looking for more of the facts than
Yeah.
yourself being right, it's like, let me see if this is factual, if there's truth behind this. I want to see this. Why?
Mhm.
Because the most important thing is seeking truth, not being right. Not being right is not the end all be all thing. It's seeking truth.
Exactly. I think a lot of people get wrapped up in that. They're more of like, this has got to be some kind of debate to win.
Hmm.
But there's a lot of good that comes out of like these conversations, man. I'm glad that you came on, bro. I
Oh,
really
yeah.
am.
I'm glad you
It's good
gave
to
me the
get
link. I'm happy to be here, man. I'm always happy to be around you guys, man. You guys are
it.
awesome, especially when CC and MC are here. Like, I remember I did a stream with you guys sometime, I think, a year ago. Oh,
Yeah.
who came in, and you guys were awesome. Talk to you guys. I talked to you guys in the chat. You guys are cool. I see you in person. We talk. It's always a pleasure to be around good company, man.
Yeah. Oh, what is this?
We got 10 minutes to make the 3 hour mark, bro.
I know, wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't it be
What
great
is
if we had
this?
D here to talk
You
for 10 minutes?
are an echo chamber. What is this? You are an echo chamber. What's saying better? Hey, my man, we are not vibing right now. We are not. You've been through this chat, just doing this whole thing, and you're actually the person I'm talking about. It doesn't matter what I say. I can give you my opinion, and you can either listen to it or not. I don't want you to feel like you are here voluntarily and you have to be here, my man. I don't want that. So here you go. I'll take care of this for you. Bye bye. Not playing that stuff, man.
Yeah, yeah. See, that whole thing is like
Yeah.
it. I was the
It's cool. We're ending on a good vibe. I'm just telling him and anybody else, man. Like, this is
yeah.
a
I know.
show. It's a
It's
show. You don't have to watch the show. You don't have to listen to what I said. That's why I said there's other resources out there. But I don't do that stuff with people. If you're coming into the show and
yeah,
you're doing that and you want to engage and have fun and talk about stuff and give your opinion, no problem. But that stuff, not happening, bro.
yeah.
Bye bye.
It's uncalled for, because the thing is, this is like, now it becomes uh opinion, and then it becomes personal. You try and do
Yeah.
personal attacks. See, that has to be left out the door. You can feel how you want to feel when it comes to figures and stuff like that, but also you got to take in consideration, this is that we're only here for a finite amount of time, a
Yeah.
small finite amount of time, and research and development takes a couple of years.
Yeah.
It takes a couple of years, and some of these things have been brewing for a while before they even go up in fruition. Not to mention, there's a lot of other things that happen in the world, plus
Yeah.
personal matters such as bills, life, burials, death, birth, all that stuff. So it's like, there's a space to be positive and there's a space to be negative, and the negative stuff only happens when you're not in a positive mindset. Echo chambers are not really positive. Like-mindedness, yes, I get it, but at the same time, you can acknowledge it and still have difference of opinion. You could say,
Oh
I
yeah.
disagree with that, but I'm still having a conversation with you. They have this all the time overseas, and no one throws a punch. Why? Because it's a civil dispute. We're disputing it logically. We're having a conversation and putting out points without getting at each other personally.
Yeah,
Now,
bro.
we're very
I
like-minded, though. That's different. So,
Yeah. I think it's also different online when you're typing something. Not saying that this person doing it, but when you're like face to face, I I'll be honest with you, man. It doesn't bother me. I'm always open to having discussions.
mhm.
But like we're kind of alluding to it earlier, but like if you're talking to somebody and they don't want to hear what you have to say, like I said, there's other resources out there for you to be able to go and look at. I don't see the point in coming in to this stream
Mhm.
and bombarding the comments with questions that you're getting answered, and then when you're getting the answers, you don't even want to be open up. There was a reason why I said what I said.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, there's always a reason why. That person was the reason why, and I thought that they would get the message. Like, oh, okay, let me go do some research, or let me start asking some questions. You know, and it's not in a combative way. That's another reason why I flashed it up on the screen too, so you can see all of that stuff. Nobody was treated unfairly, man. But I don't want to keep somebody in my stream hostage. So I tell you what, you can leave. I mean, other people said it too, kick rocks and all that stuff too, man. You don't have to be here, man. That's for everybody. You know, you hate watching this channel, or if you're coming in here with bots or weird ass accounts and you want to come do that stuff, it's gonna be the same result, man. Not trying to do that with people.
Yeah, I never understood the hate watching and then, talk back for a fight online. I'm like, that doesn't that. I'm sorry, I don't know how you get off on that. That's not that's that's more than
Bro,
childish. It's more than childish. But at the end of
look,
the day,
but look, I'm still here smiling. I
you're
don't
smiling, I'm
I
smiling,
don't care,
and
bro. I really don't.
and the
And
only
that's
thing
the
I
thing,
can
man.
think of
I had a good conversation with you. I
is
had a good
time.
conversation with the chat. That's all that
Yeah.
matters, man.
And
This is
all I can
massive.
think about right now is the fact that I get a figure that I missed out on. I have an
Hmm.
opportunity to get it not once, but twice.
Yeah.
Not once, but twice. And then check it out. I felt the same way with White Skull. I'm like, oh, White Skull is cool. It's simple, but it's cool. I want to get
Yeah.
it. I missed out on it. It's only 500 pieces. Okay, this is gloat time. Everybody's going to gloat floss and spend some money. All right, go ahead. I'll wait for the 2.0. 2.0 came out way better than the first one. Why? Because we
Yeah.
got new expression heads and we got an extra alien head plus a little bit more to the lore with some more gadgets. Come on, you can't beat that. Patience is a virtue, and so is knowing when to hold back and think your thoughts through. Sometimes you have to
Yeah.
stay silent and just like bite your lip and let your feeling go and go with reason.
D and I had this conversation before. He said, like, he told me some. Oh, and Killzone said this. I told you in person, but thank you. You didn't have to say that, man. I appreciate you, man. Killzone, he was at the meetup, and
Yeah.
we did a spin for like two prizes, and he was one of the people that won like a rumbler. They
Ooh,
Mezco actually donated uh two of the prizes for that
nice.
meetup. Yeah, they gave a rumbler, and then they gave a Phantom Knight, and then he signed the Phantom Knight. Yeah, he put like the meetup 2026, and he put his name on there. I was like, wow, he didn't have to do that. It was very, very nice. I mean, that Rumbler was like, at the con, it was like 350. I'm like, you sure you want to do this? And they were like, yeah. So, they didn't tell me I had to plug them or say that they gave it to them, stuff like that. They were just like, yeah, take it and do it as a giveaway for the meet. I was like, wow.
Community. Back again to a community. See, people forget
Yeah.
what community is. Back
Bro,
then,
nobody, and to be honest with you, nobody would know. Nobody, like,
nobody would have known,
for all
but the
they know, I
community.
could have bought that and gave it, but like, they just said, yeah, here, take it to them,
Yeah, but see, it goes back to community, man. Like, all right, the reason why, hip hop is the way it is, and other things is because of community, the vibe that
Yeah.
people should take with them. You know what I mean? You had different ethnic backgrounds coming together that lived in the same area, going through the same struggle, doing the same thing, and this is why hip hop is the way it is. Same thing in the toy community. Like this is our like release from the stresses of the world. They shouldn't be it's stress free here.
Yeah, man. That's what it is for me, man.
That's all it is.
This is cool too. I love talking to the guys and stuff. Like, I used to have other people on too, and everything works out for a reason. I wish they were on, but it's good to get perspectives from other people too. Because we all are here to like just enjoy this stuff. I want to enjoy my time here,
Yeah.
and that's why I've always focused on I've always tried to like focus on the information part about it. I love the line. I try not to let that creep in there, but most of the stuff that I do or I put out there is information based, because you don't want to have I don't like people thinking that it is going to be this big like glaze fest. So I figure if it's just information, you can determine whatever
This is true,
your
but
decision is about it.
a lot of people know that there's a bias when it comes to Mezco, because Mezco is
Oh,
like miniature Hot Toys. You know, like I go back to Hot Toys. Why? Hot Toys has been the standard for high end collectibles. This
yes.
is a high end collectible for the 1/12 scale collector, the person who doesn't want the big dolls, they want the small toys. They want the toys that have the soft goods that brings them, you know, some type of realism and just that extra umph. Like I'm telling you now, um, because I know we're gonna end the show. My top five for
Oh,
this year for my
oh,
top five for this year.
yeah.
The And this is in no particular order yet because I haven't set the order yet. I have to wait till the
Right.
end of the year to do the
Right.
order. So it's the Flame Toys Dragon Zord. I waited
Flame,
about.
flame,
I'll
flame
show you
toys,
about.
dragons. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that. See, that's what I. That's another reason why. That's another. Can I enlarge you? Is that cool?
Yes, you can.
Pause. Pause.
I'm right here.
No, no. I mean, can I enlarge you?
Yeah, I know.
See, no, that's the thing, though. See, like I like that because I'm not familiar with this line. So when somebody tells me, "Hey, this is one of my favorite figures," to me, it's more of like, "Oh, wow, I haven't seen this before. That's cool."
Yep. So this is another line that I collect that's different. This is um the let me see if I can say it right. The Go the Kurakuri combine. So basically, it's a die-cast, stylized version of the Dragon Zord that combines with the earlier release of the Megazord, and it's a beast. It's heavy. It costs the price of a hot toy, 400, and it's a beautiful piece.
It
It's a
looks nice, man.
it's
Like
a beautiful
seriously,
piece.
I
Like
know I'm typing, but I mean,
yeah, it's like
it
it's a
looks good,
beautiful
bro.
piece. You know, the combinations is it brings you back to the to the days of Power Rangers, but stylized. Like this is how if they ever did a live action of the original Power Rangers and gave them slight upgrades, not extra upgrades, slight upgrades. This is how you do the movies. You give them a little bit more angles and you stay true to concept.
Mm-hmm.
Stay
Because
true to
it is based off of that.
Yep. So it's based off of the original IP, just stylized a little bit, right? Just a little
Mm-hmm.
stylization, more angles. Some things are smaller, while other things are bigger. Those things are crazy. Yeah, the box design is fire. The figure is even better. The tail is massive. Like, dude, the tail stands up as tall as he is when it's combined.
Wow.
So it's a beautiful piece. Um,
D said, let me just do some comments. Says mine should be on Monday. Nice, congrats. D said, I'm gonna need 5 more Phantom Nights. Yeah, he knows I'm trying to do that too.
mhm,
He knows
mhm,
I'm trying to do
mhm,
that too.
mhm, mhm.
Knock Knock collab. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Get some
Dude, as
collabs
soon
out
as I
there.
get mine, Fate, what's up, Fate? That's my boy
Oh
Fate.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep,
That's the diorama guy. That's the
yep,
master, bro.
that's the man right there.
Yeah,
So,
yep. Trying to get those, man. This is why you can never get in Hot Toys and choose Mezco the size. That's why. Oh, that's why
yeah,
he can get in Hot Toys because of the
it's
size.
the size. There's a big difference. If I was, you know what? Let me grab one. He's right here in front of me, and this is like another one that's nice.
Mezco is the Hot Toys of 112, man.
Yep,
Yeah. Hey, dudes, good to be here. Glad to see you, man. Glad to
yep, my
see you,
brother.
man.
Here's the Hot Toys Blade that came out this year.
Jesus, that looks good.
Yeah, and he has the rolling eye system, which the new '90s Turtles are gonna have from Mezco. So that's gonna be nice.
That looks so good. I'm glad they gave him a sword, bro. Like,
Well,
because the one in.
special edition sword, there's timed, but he didn't have it in the film. But
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm glad they gave him a sword. I felt like he had those like knives. I was like, man, this isn't Blade. Like in terms of like he always has a sword. I was like, but I understood why they did it. Because
yeah, but like when you have this in hand and you look at it, I'm like, oh, okay, I see why Hot Toys is Hot Toys. You know.
Lou, your project is on deck at the moment.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm getting something from him. That my guy, Fate is hooking me up. Can't wait. Can't wait. I'm gonna take tons of shots with that. So
All right.
so
Yeah, let me hear the rest of these
so so
because I'm gonna
that's
try to run this up. So you got
so
those
that's
two.
one. The Mondo Donatello.
Okay.
That's two. The Hot Toys The Thing from Fantastic Four. From Mezco, it's going to be the black and white war paint Conan. So that's
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's figure of the year right there for me. So 1, 2, 3,
My
4,
Phantom ship they ordered too.
and I'm trying to remember what else
The
did I
shipping.
get. There was another. Oh,
Behind people what else when they build them. Sorry, I was reading the comment. I'll be honest with you. Like I know for me, for Florida,
mhm,
it's maybe between a $3 and $5 difference when I order multiples.
mhm,
Like like today, Fate I think was like $19,
mhm,
which is crazy because usually even one box offering from them shipping from New York has
mhm,
always been 22, 26.
mhm,
So it went down a little bit, but then I know when I order multiples, it ranges around that.
mhm.
So
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think the other figure I would have to say that got my attention this year
uh-huh.
is the Revoltech Spider-Man, the symbiote Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
yeah, dude. I think I saw D take a couple of pictures of that recently too.
yeah, I took some photos of that too, and dude, that thing poses like a dream. It looks so good. It looks so good. So those are my picks. And granted, they're the IPs that I like. I got some Hot Toys, I got some robots, I got and they all vary, different prices, different availability. Some are available more than others.
Right.
That's it.
So,
That's the five.
man, that's nice, man. And so but that's for your half year. You said you do half for year,
Half
right?
year. Yeah, that's my half year. That's the five for half the year. I haven't gone to the other five yet.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, I got it. And
So
do
I'll
this
wait.
really quick.
I'll wait for the.
The
I'll wait for the because it's top 10. So it's like
okay.
and there's always time to move around. It depends on what's grabbing my eye.
Let me get this down because
Yeah, give me one moment. I'll be right back.
added this thing. So Lou was very kind enough to pick up. I know MC got in there. I appreciate you trying to jump in there. I'm sorry that we missed out. CC was taking care of some stuff, so hopefully everything's good with him and he can get back on the show soon. But Lou was very kind enough to be able to come on and bounce back and forth. I do like doing guest spots. I used to do them quite frequently, but I got so comfortable and I love the conversation between the two Corys that we just kind of like kept that going. I did do a couple episodes where we're grabbing people. I'm gonna try to do that again because, like I said, I love hearing different perspectives and even ones that both parties may not agree on. I think somebody commented earlier, which made a lot of sense. You can be civil about disagreeing.
Yeah.
But there's also some good in having conversation with people that do like what you like. You know, it doesn't need to be a
Civil
debate show every
discourse.
single time. Exactly, it's just common interest in people sharing what they like because that's honestly part of this hobby is connecting with people that do
Mm-hmm.
share the same interests as you do, so you can share those good memories. Let
Yep.
me finish this really quick, Lou. So Lou came on. If you haven't checked him out, it's Loco Lu 526. He's on Instagram. Lou, what's your favorite shot you took in the last week?
I think there's a Spider-Man, there's a Donnie. I'll say in the last week, I think my favorite shot so far it would have to be um the last Ronin shot that I did. Um
Is it
it's
higher?
right
Oh,
there.
this one?
It's right there. Yeah. Yeah, it's that one. And the reason being is I did a shot prior to this, which was with the Toyz Ling Jihan special edition Mikey. that is that last Ronin style.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I like this shot. I could have done it in another angle, but I kind of want to do it with the Mezco kit one that I got from Kai Labs. Let me throw that on. So I got my Toon Turtle, my Kai Lab on, and I'm like,
Yeah.
let me do that. And I added a little bit more effects to the shot to kind of make it look like Last Ronin-ish. You know, he's going out into the city to destroy parts of the city that belong to, you know, the Foot.
Mm-hmm.
What better way to show it than him leaping off of a building into out of an explosion into the city? So
And these are all dials and stuff like you have, like this here and
that,
that dials.
yeah, yeah. So all right, the one that's on the bottom that Mikey's holding on to, that is one of the pillars that came with the Shatari from
Yeah, I
Diamond
remember that
Select.
thing. Yeah, I got a
So
bunch of
I
those
use that.
things.
I use that.
That gauge
Hey,
is good.
I need a bunch of them. I need to get more of them. But
Yeah.
I use that, and the diorama in the back that you see with the windows, that is a 78 points dial. That's the big
Mhm.
diorama set. I just used one of the walls for that. And then the other side of that wall is the Mafex magnetic wall. And I just have it laying on the side just there. And I'm using two separate lights, no, three
Mhm.
lights to make the shot overall as is. So
Yeah. Fate wants to make sure that everything was tangible in this shot. He said, "Did you use fireworks for the effects, or was it
Oh,
magic?"
oh no, it was spitballs, bro. I was throwing spitballs at it, make sure that the light catches the spit, bro. I'm joking.
I was gonna say, is that long exposure? You do have so you catch it. Those custom goods are a little bit goofy, you know, pose, but that's they've looked. Yeah,
Yeah, man. Thanks.
it's a good shot, bro. Very
Yeah,
good shot,
I
man.
did that, and then the most recent one I think is the one I did for Mezco Monday, which is with the Michelangelo, right
This
there.
one?
Yeah. So currently, the Toy Pit community is doing their top 5 for the weekend,
Uh-huh.
right? And Toy Father nominated this shot of mine for the top 5 pick. So if you guys are
Oh.
in the community, you all you have to do is go to my image and vote. Vote by hitting the like button in the Toy Pit community.
Oh,
So
in the toy pick community? Oh, okay.
yep, if you go to the Toy Pit community, you hit the like button. You put a vote for me. So
Done.
oh,
Boom.
thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know,
Everybody
and this is
else.
the second time I've been nominated or been selected to be in the running ups of the top 5 of the weekend. One of them,
Congrats.
one of my shots was a Conan shot, and I had him like kind of in the mountains with the smoke and stuff. And none of my shots are all tangible. Some of it has some effects all put into it, but I try to
Mhm.
blend them as much as possible just to give it some look. But that particular shot that I took was a challenge from the Mez Heads, which is a single light setup. I have now and my phone to set up the light on top of a diode that I had for a couple of years. It's basically like a boiler, and I have this kind of like brick wall,
Mhm.
thin sheet.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I got this. So I use that as my background, um, and just put some mezits around some pizza, and just have
Mhm.
Mikey eating it, looking shocked, like episode from Ninja Turtles where he, is Attack of the Killer Pizza, But then my
That's dope,
blade.
bro.
Thank you.
That's dope.
Yeah. And then I got my family, I'm a big family man. I always do things with my family.
Oh
So
yeah, I know, bro. Like it was cool to see you guys, like come over to the booth and get to meet her, and
yeah.
it's cool. And you do you sit down with your kids and play with your figures and stuff like that too? You get dad time with them like
No,
that?
No, I do whatever my daughter wants. If she wants to play dress up, I will play dress up. If she
That's
wants to
good.
do, if she wants to do tea party, we do tea party. If we do, oh yeah, that was a winner for Mezco Monday. All
Yeah, this is dope. I
my
like
three
that.
pins are the three Mezco Mondays that I won this year. I'm surprised I won anything this year. But when it comes to spending time, video games, I got her the Switch too. So me and her play Mario Kart. We play Marvel. What was it? Marvel Invasion
Uh-huh.
and Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. I gotta get her Kirby and the Sonic Racer game, just because that's the games that we like to play. But most of the time, we're in the water, we're swimming, we're you know just being fish in the water, bro. We're just loving the summer. Winter time is a little different. You go to a playground. You do the simple stuff that I can do. Especially with the short amount of time that I have, because dude, 9 hour nights sleeping, it's not easy.
Bro, as long as you're able to balance that time, man, with your family and your hobby and your job, I mean everything else you gotta do as a
Yeah.
father, man, I'm sure they appreciate it, bro.
Plus the other 5 streams I'm a part of.
I know. I don't know how you guys do it, man. Like it's like I guess when you it's just like anything when you conditioned to do it, dude, this is dope. I love this.
Oh,
I
dude, I
don't
had
know if I've seen
fun.
this before.
I had fun setting that up. So,
This is
um,
cool. I like that.
thank you. I had fun setting that up. That was one of my favorite shots. I've done a couple of shots like that, similar, but I thought that was good. He had his gold. The shot was bigger,
Maybe the
but I decided to go tighter for it.
no sleep, only work. Yeah,
Yeah, no
that's
sleep,
good.
only work. And then sometimes, when you sleep, you wake up and you're like, I want to go back to sleep. Oh, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm
Yeah,
not.
man.
See,
Man,
I want to.
that's my boy, man. Anytime we're up late or something like that, we'll call each other like late at night. 1 or 2 in the morning. Hey man, what you doing? What are you doing? That much?
Yeah, see, I
I,
want to be
I
like
said
D when I grow up. He never sleeps.
he don't, man. Like the boy, he runs on fumes and coffee and man,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, it's like, but he always working, man. I always tell the same story. Sometimes I'll be talking to him on the phone. I hear in the background.
yeah.
I'm like, you shooting? He's like, yep. I'm like, okay, I got to
But
get off and because it's
yeah,
motivation. Like I got to go. I got to do something too. So
yep. But for those who want to know what a meetup and a hangout is at a meetup at a convention, um, click on the pink skulls right there,
what is it? Oh, I'm sorry.
right there next to the mic. Yeah, that's what it looks like. We're chilling.
Yeah, man,
That's
dude.
exactly what we're chilling.
I'm hoping if I get to go, if I get to, if I get on, the roster to go this year, I want to try to do it again this year in New York because this one at San Diego was really good, and I have fun in New York, man. So hopefully we'll be able to do that, make it a little bit bigger, better, and expand on it a little bit more.
Yeah,
Because it seems like it's taking off, and so just like with anything, you want to make it better each time you go, and so definitely want to try to do something special in New York. We'll have to see what happens. So,
yeah. Peace, love, and pizza.
oh
Pizza,
man, yeah, I could go for some pizza right now, bro.
peace, love, and pizza, bro. Can't go wrong with that.
Sleep till birth.
But
Lou, man, I can't again, dude. I
no,
can't thank you
you.
enough for coming on. I really appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you, brother. Thank you.
You're good. You're a good man. I knew when we met in New York and we were talking. I'm like, this is a. It sounds like J Cole. Because I saw him with his kids and his family. I knew he was a stand-up brother, man. I knew he
Yeah,
was.
brother.
But yeah, man, thank you so much for jumping on, man. Great conversation. I appreciate you. Appreciate
Always
your perspective, bro.
feelings mutual, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Um. Uh. Again, everybody else that joined in, whether you popped in, popped out, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Appreciate the energy. Appreciate the conversation. Somebody asked earlier. I think it was Hunt. Hunt's Club. Like he was asking. So I usually do the hangout on Wednesdays. Might be expanding a little bit and doing other days with just different guests and stuff like that. Just like I said, just to get different people's perspective, conversation. But the core show is always on Wednesday. And again, if you watch this live, you watch replay, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Lou, you want to take us out?
Oh yeah, listen. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. If you haven't done your due diligence here, share this with the community. Sharing is caring. Okay, just like anybody, you want to make sure you let everybody know that there's info out here. Everyone has info. Not all information is good information. This is why you filter out. And here, it's a good filter. This is why I call it a filter. And keep it simple. Like D says, drink your water, my friends. I love D. D's always say, drink your water. But me, it's hit the like button, subscribe, and if you haven't already, shared. And you can catch me everywhere. You see me everywhere.
Yeah. When are your shows? Your shows, like, I know you said you do.
Dude, I'm on S Beam stream on Monday, and we talk everything collectibles, mostly 6 scale. As I'm on Maz's Toy Box for Toy Photography Talk on Tuesdays, where we critique photos. I main on phone photography. I don't budge from phone photography because I think you could always take photos with your phone and still do great shots.
Yes, same here.
Then Wednesdays I usually float around if I'm not with family, doing activities outside of just sleeping. I'll be on Say What Wednesday, which their stream is probably over right now.
Thank you, man.
Or I'm on my other podcast, which is Cigars and Ash, with my 2 boys, where we smoke cigars, talk about the cigars, and talk about pop culture and media and what's happening in the world at the same time. Thursdays is Best of the Best with Brother Cousin's Toy Reviews and that panel.
Wow.
And then Friday is Figure Flex Friday on 1/6 Scale Man's channel, which is the same individual for Say What Wednesday. So this is my circle of friends. It's different scales, different communities. I'm a part of the same feather. We just flock together. That's all.
Hey, man, I appreciate you dumping 2 shows to come on this one.
Oh, dude, no. Today was an off day for me. And
good.
Like,
well, thank you for spending your off day with me, bro.
Yo, today was an off day. I was like, you know what? I've been so busy. I need to go and check out the Hangout. So I'm here chilling. I'm like, oh no. Paige can't be by himself. Paige can't be by himself. Yo, send me a link.
Yeah, I can, man, but I think it's good to have conversations with people, and especially with friends, man. I really appreciate you coming on. I really do. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right. Good night, everybody. Later.